I told you he's going to fuck it up.
There we go for myself. Fucking hell, what happened there, man? It's getting a bit like technical there. How we going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered.
What's going on?
If you haven't been here, I'm Rocco. This is Andy. And today, special guest, Lynden Hosking. Yes.
Great to be here, guys.
Yeah, you've been on before a few times.
Yeah, a couple of times.
First time on Unfiltered, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to have a bit of a chat. All the way from Top Dog Liquor.
Here we are, yep.
Actually, this is the battle of the bottle shops here.
Oh, you got a bottle shop too?
I have a bottle shop, my friend.
What's your bottle shop's name?
Just the bottle A.
The Bottle A. Yep.
Yeah. Pascal Val.
Could have come up with a better name, you reckon?
Keep it
the
simple.
Bottle O.
Keep it simple, mate. Keep it simple.
Bottle A.
Keep it simple.
It must be busy period for both.
We love this time of year, don't we?
It is,
Yep.
Beaming this time of
They've
year.
been pumping it, for sure, mate. Everyone getting in
Beers
there.
flying out the door.
Yeah, beers will be flying out. It's a couple of hot days coming on, coming up.
About time, yep.
You also got a pub, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got, so there's 4 bottle shops in the group.
Yeah.
Heathcote, 3 in Bendigo, and then one of them is attached to the pub. So if you're in the Bendigo area, it's the British and American Hotel, Eagle Hawk Road in Bendigo. So come and check us out. Only a small pub, hasn't got all the bells and whistles. It's a traditional old pub, and that's the way we like it. It's really
Beautiful.
And you were there last week. You were serving beers.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of hours lately, actually. I'm not sort of used to this working business. I usually tell others what to do, but the last 2 weeks, lost our bar manager, and my son's been away for a week on holidays. He's been saving all year for a trip to Japan, so he's been over there. So, I had to dig in and actually do some work for a change. So it was, I love it, though. You're probably the same. To actually talk to customers and sort of get a feel of what they're thinking and what they're buying and their thoughts on different products. It's really good rather than just, sitting on a computer or a phone all day. So I actually really enjoyed it. And a pub, I was at a pub about 20 years ago. That's how we actually started. And and I never thought I'd go into a pub again. But it's amazing how much the industry's changed in 20 years. The main thing is the price of actually alcohol. When I left the pub we were in 20 years ago, I hope I'm not going off on a rant here, guys, but to get things started. But a pot of beer was $2.20, and now the same pot is about $8. So that's how much it's gone up.
It's crazy.
Slab of beer, $30 for a slab of VB. Now you're $60. That's all in 20 years.
It's a crime.
So thank you to the government for continuing to over-excise and over-tax. It's their fault.
How bad is it?
It's crazy.
Because I see it, mate. Like
I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And you got to have that conversation with customers because they see the price hike.
I just cringe.
Mate, the price, and I say this all the time, the price of Coronas blows my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, the price we're paying for Coronas is insane.
Do you get yours from Australia or overseas?
I used to get them from overseas.
Yeah.
I do have a supplier still that can get them from overseas. But yeah, it depends. I go through ALM myself.
So you're paying all. Yeah. We get ours from the docks or overseas.
Yeah.
And this is how crazy it is, ladies and gentlemen, watching out there. You can get a slab of Corona at our stores cheaper than a slab of VB.
That's fucking
It is.
insane.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, slab of Corona, Mexican imported beer, by the way, not the stuff they make in South Bank.
Now, isn't it?
We can get Chinese or Mexico. Yeah. The Mexico one's a little bit more, so we actually get the proper Mexican Corona in a brown box, and it's cheaper than a slab of VB that they make in Melbourne. That's how crazy it is.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, VB is shit.
It is, yeah. Used to be it used to be number 1 by a mile. It used to be called the Green Monster. That's how popular it was, and now it's all these low carb and all these no sugar and all this sort of stuff. So
it's expensive, man. Especially I'm independent, so I'm super small as well.
Yeah.
So I don't have the buying power of some of the big guys. Jeez, man, it's hard to compete.
It is, yeah.
It's hard to compete with the Dans and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it would be.
If you can, cut any corner, if you can find a way just to get that little bit of ahead.
Yeah.
You got to take it. You have to.
Yeah, and the local, your locals, they're important. Your local community.
Well, that's why for me, I mean, my point of difference has to be my customer service.
Yeah.
Has to be the service you're providing the customer, because price wise, they're probably paying a little bit more than going into Dan's. So that has to be the difference for me, and I relay that to my staff as well. We have to be really on top of things when it comes to customer base.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want a drink? we usually have. Do you drink?
Have you got something like non-alcoholic? It's a Tuesday night, so
Yeah, we've got water.
you got like
we've
a
got
soft drink or
Coke.
something? Yeah, Coke would be great. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you got a soft drink? I might have a soft drink.
I don't know about you, Andy.
we've got
Are you a
lemonade.
drinker or?
Oh, not.
We've got lemonade.
Yeah, done. Lemonade's good. I
want one of
drink
these?
a little bit. No, man, I'll just drink it out of this.
I'm gonna have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, mate.
Yeah, look, I've
Dream.
when I first got the shop, I was drinking because I was like, shit, what's all this?
Yeah.
I need to know what this is.
Gotta try all the new stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, now that I've had it for a few years,
Yeah,
I don't really want to look at alcohol
Yeah.
when I get home, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I just see just coloured boxes these days. It's just, that's that price and that's that price.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and when you see the same customer come through about 6 times a day, it sort of, those sort of, you know,
it's scary, man.
and you see people come in,
Like what? Getting one drink or what?
well, they might get 5 or 6 at a time. They might
Yeah.
walk down. If they're on foot, not
Yeah.
much you can do about it. And I've actually seen, you know, women wearing dressing gowns at 10 past 10 in the morning. That does tend to turn her off as well a
Yeah.
little bit. So, but hey, I'm not there to judge or
No, of
anything.
course.
As
No,
long as they're sober and
Of course, as long as they're not harming,
Yep.
you know, putting anyone in harm,
yep.
and they're not falling over, what can you do?
This is a question I'll put up, and Nick's put this question up. What about Foster's? Like,
Don't stock it. Haven't stocked it in 25
there you
years.
go. You stock it?
I stock it sometimes, so I stock it seasonally.
Yeah.
So in summer, I'll stock it. In winter, there's no point.
No.
It's because you definitely get more foot traffic.
And not just that, it's so expensive. I think
is.
if you wanted to buy a slab, you're probably looking at 70 75 bucks, something like that for a slab
It's
of
about
Foster's.
$70, yeah.
Well,
It's
as I
expensive.
said, I haven't seen it. Overseas, you see it.
Yeah, as a sort of novelty, and that's what sort of drives me crazy. Whenever you go overseas, do you want a Foster's, mate? Well,
Yeah.
we don't actually drink Foster's in
I
Australia.
I know.
Well, do you drink beer?
Nah.
Same.
If I have a drink, I'll only have probably one, maybe every week. I'll have on a Sunday when I sit down and do the orders. I just like to have one, but it's always a stronger type of drink, like a double jack or something like that. Jack Daniel's double
So
jack.
you're a premix guy.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can't drink beer. Hate it. Yeah.
I can't stand. Like I said to you, I've never had a beer and
wrong
thought
with you?
this
No,
is
I
a
know,
nice
I
drink.
know.
Fucking beer's beautiful, man. Like,
Not the typical Aussie. Don't drink, or don't drink Foster's. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
BB, don't watch cricket and horse racing, car racing. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Just boxing.
Fuck, I'm more Aussie than
Boxing,
this guy.
yeah, you are. Boxing and footy. That's about it for me.
Hey, I
Boxing
love the
and
cricket, man.
Yeah.
No, I can't
yeah.
get into it.
Tomorrow, I think, is
Tomorrow
the.
the third
Is that?
test.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a
third
clue. I don't think I could name 2 players in the team, to be honest. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I just don't get into it.
I've been loving the cricket this
it's
year
been a great-
because of England and then because we've been smashing them and I've happened to watch most of it.
Yeah.
Like I've been at home for some reason, like because I work either morning or afternoon. So the night ones I've been watching them all night, and it's been grouse, man, and smashing England.
Yeah, that's good. I look at the results, but I to sit down and
just
actually
don't
watch a game, can't do it.
Yeah.
My attention span's very short.
Yeah.
So to sit there and watch a game of cricket,
It's actually very therapeutic, I reckon. I can sit there and watch a whole test,
Same.
just sit there and watch every ball, what
Yeah,
I mean? Because it doesn't have to be like footy where it has to be 2 hours of full-on entertainment,
there's tactics, obviously.
Yeah, there's tactic, there's things, and then something
chess
happens,
match,
something doesn't happen for ages, and then the commentators, they're talking, listening to them. I don't mind listening to it on the radio. That's even worse. That's
You can
even
listen
more
to-
I've listened to it on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To cricket on the radio,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
something I've
wow.
never done.
Especially
that's-
when they're overseas, I love it. I don't know why. I
But then,
like it.
as I said, they're conversating, so they're
Yeah.
they're keeping the entertainment up. They don't just they talk about the ball. Oh yeah, he blocks it, and then they get back to their
Yeah.
conversation. You know what I mean? And there's some really good commentators. Yeah, and I've watched some of the best matches. I mean, I've heard some of the best matches on, and the one series I remember is when Warney had his last series in Australia. And he broke to 700, and mate, that was one of the best series listening to it. I'm working because I used to be a car detailer. I'm sitting there doing cars, man, punching the air. Yeah, go Warney,
Is that right?
And
Yeah.
I can imagine, I can see the ball, I can see, just like footy when it was on the radio.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So I used to love listening to
Yeah.
footy on radio because footy wasn't as readily available as it is now.
Well, back then, you couldn't watch it. There was a delayed telecast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was only one game most of the time.
Yeah.
And the days where you get a half or here or a quarter there, it was... And I remember when it went live, people thought that would kill the game because no one would go.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't happen.
Done the other way.
See, I don't know, like you're sure, you remember my days, you probably don't. But as I said, there was all the games on a Saturday. Did you have it then?
No.
So all the games were on a Saturday at the same time, right? At the same time. And when you went to the footy, there was like A, B, C, D,
and you have to have the record out.
What do you mean A, B, C, D?
So A was Collingwood.
Oh, like game one.
Yeah, on the score. That's how you knew.
Yeah.
That's how you knew. So on your record, you go, A is Collingwood. B.
Which is just ridiculous when you think about it. They couldn't actually write Collingwood.
Yeah.
Is it because they didn't have the space?
Well, they weren't electronic either, by the way. They had to put which is probably why they had the letters at the time.
And then that's the only time. And then when you got home, they used to have like the highlights. Yeah. They used to have, I think, 2-hour highlights.
Was it game day or something it was called? There was a thing called...
I don't know if it was game day, but it was something like that. And then what happened was they would have one match where they'd show you half an hour of it, and the rest were just quick highlights of it. Yeah. And if you're lucky, your game got featured for the half an hour. And Carlton was playing well those days. So with a lot of times they would show the Carlton games, you know. But that was it. That was your footy thing.
And even the footage they might show sometimes in the highlights, there was no flash cameras, there was no commentary. It was just like a grainy camera. You get to see highlights of the footy. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, when they'd be like on the telecast, it'd be like, all right, we'll go around the grounds. If you don't want to know the scores, look away now.
Yeah.
And you'd like, you know, they play that song in the background.
Heard it on the grapevine.
Yes. It'll be Drew Morfitt.
Right.
Drew Morfitt.
On the radio, it was
Sandy Roberts.
Yeah, it was around the grounds. Over to you, Clelo. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Good old days, you know. It's completely different now. Like now, you can watch every minute. Every you can rewind it. You watch it on every bit of social media. It was just different, and that's why I thought. I don't know if it was because I was young. But it just felt more magical.
Yeah, it did.
Absolutely it did.
Yeah. Now
absolutely
it's just like, even the players felt, if you'd ever see them.
They're like superheroes.
They were like superheroes. Now they're just like, I see them every day on social media. You make me sick.
That's exactly right. Yeah. They've humanised them.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good description, actually.
They're not these guys on this massive pedestal anymore.
Exactly.
You know, is it because we're older too? And
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's because we're older, but I reckon not seen as much definitely made them more mysterious. You know what I mean? You hardly saw them. You know what I mean? So it was. I remember the first time I met like a Jezelenko. Right, he'd finished playing footy, and I started working at Visiboard, and he was working at Visiboard, and it was at the piss trough, you know. So we went there, and there's Jezza having a piss right now.
He doesn't say much, does he?
No, he didn't, especially at the piss trough.
Yeah, I bet. Don't say much you can say,
weird,
isn't it?
But he doesn't say much. But then I got to meet him a few times, and Wayne Harms used to work there. Got to meet him too at the time. But it was like I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know what to say, man. Like that's fucking Jezza, you know. Yeah. Like it was unbelievable.
So for you guys, who were the radio commentators?
Like Rex Hunt was the main one.
Yeah, because he was.
I used to really like Tim Lane. I thought he was good.
Tim Lane was really good.
I thought Tim Lane was fantastic on Channel 10. I think he was on it.
Yeah.
Even his daughter, Sam Lane, was fantastic.
Yeah, she was good.
She was really good. I don't know what happened to her.
She right too. She did disappear.
Yeah, she had something to do with AFLW too when that first came out. Did she or not? I think so. I can't remember actually. But
did she move overseas? I think.
No, but she was on before the game, and she was really good on that.
Yeah. You know what's weird? When Fox Footy kind of they restructured everything a few years back. There was a girl on Fox Footy, Nerily Meadows, who I thought was amazing, and they got rid of her.
She went on the footy show, didn't she? And then she got the knife. Yeah.
Who knows?
She was really good, she was really good.
She was great. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid listening to Rex Hunt. You know, the fat lady singing.
Oh, he was a superstar, wasn't he?
He was entertaining.
He gave everyone a nickname.
Yeah.
Dean Special Fried Rice.
Yeah, Dean Special Fried Rice.
The cranium. Milhana, the cranium.
Yeah. I miss those days, man.
He was a special commentator, and he's gone downhill lately because I think he's got dementia.
Yeah, he's lost the plot a few times, hasn't he?
But
I read his book when I was in high school. And he had a fantastic
I read a few
life.
of his books because he had like fishing books and that.
This one was a biography.
Yeah.
This was about his life. And
he was a copper.
He was a cop.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. He was a cop playing footy on the weekends.
Yep. He was a cop playing footy on the weekends. He played for Richmond, St Kilda.
And Geelong, I think.
And Geelong. Yeah. And he was good, and then he turned into he was a real star. He's probably the best commentator that ever.
Mate, there's a good argument for it. Yeah. He was never on TV, was he?
Yeah, he had his own TV shows.
No, I mean for commentating.
Oh no, you're right. Probably,
Did he ever do Channel 7 or anything?
I don't know.
Well, he had his own show. Remember, it was
Rex Hunt's Fishing Adventures.
No, he had another one, a footy one, at one stage. What was it called?
He did too.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Yeah, he did.
I'm Rex Hunt, You're Not, or something. I think it was called.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm Rex Hunt, You're Not.
It was a Sunday morning show. Yeah.
What happened to the art of the footy show? Do you remember, like, obviously the footy show, but you had like after the game, you had before the bounce.
Yeah. Before the bounce, that's right.
Before the bounce,
game,
and you had the Channel 7 one with Dunstall and all that on it, and Dermy.
But that's what they had substance. Even look at it now. Like this year was probably worse than ever with all the what's the one on Channel 7, the new one, the Monday night one, whatever it is.
Couch, I think.
In competition with Footy Classified.
Yeah.
The Agenda Setters.
Agenda Setters.
I don't watch it.
And those two shows, they're all just in competition with each other now, and they're all just ripping each other off, and it's just. I think they're all trying a bit too hard. Back in the day, they were just good footy shows. I mean, On the Couch is probably the best show they've ever had, and it was so basic. It's just like we're doing now. I was just talking about the footy when Robert Walls was on.
100%.
Mick Sheen, whatever his name. Yeah,
Mike Sheen.
Yeah, Mike Sheen.
Mike Sheen was always on
fantastic.
there. Then you had Robert Walls. You had all sorts there. That was probably one of the best, and I remember, of course, the footy show was the ultimate.
Footy show, I loved it. Even when it was getting cancelled.
Probably the biggest show of all time, as far as footy, not just footy but sports, probably.
Probably, yeah.
In this day and age, it'd last about 5 minutes.
Well, Sam Newman had his putty. Remember when he got dacked?
Yeah.
And his dick came out on fucking TV. That was crazy.
Mate, how many good moments in it?
Remember the pie?
The pie.
Yeah, David
Schwartz.
Yeah.
And Chris Tarrant just sort of sitting there. You know what to do.
And that's and Eddie the genius. He just pulls Tarrant away. Pulls him away.
Well, he was a genius.
Oh, he was.
Eddie Maguire, and to get Sam Newman, he was a star.
And when Sam Newman wouldn't say anything for the whole show. Remember that one of the last shows when they kept censoring him, he didn't say a word.
Yeah.
He did not say a word.
Yeah.
And every time they went to him, he just went.
Yeah. He was a star, man. He knew, and now he does that little podcast. He's
pushing 80 now, I think he is. 80, I think he's 80.
Yeah, you can see the age in him, but he's doing all right. Yeah.
I've seen him at Docklands on his boat.
Yeah.
This was a couple of years back. We were going fishing.
Right.
He's doing just fine.
He's doing all right.
Have you seen his boat?
No, but
Jesus
I'm sure
Christ.
it's a nice one.
Oh, is it ever?
Yeah. I'm sure he drives there in his Lamborghini.
I asked him, I go, Sammy, can we take your boat out for fishing? Tell me to get fucked. You guys get fucked. He started laughing, gave him a thumbs up. He's a good bloke.
Yeah.
Nah, what a show, man. What a show. I remember when that first came out, man. That was like...
absolute juggernaut. It was just compulsive viewing. You just could not miss it.
Thursday night.
I was a kid, so what year did it come out?
94.
94.
Yeah.
There you go. So I would have been 6.
Good year for Carl. We were watching it too.
Yeah, 94 was the first year, and just like it was
every
just
Thursday night.
You just could not miss it.
There was no way, and like those days there. I suppose you could record it on video.
Yeah.
But apart from that, if you
missed it, you missed it. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? Nah, fuck, I missed it. You missed the beauty.
Yeah, you missed that.
Yeah.
You know, it was another show that was like that in our days. I Hate Saturday.
Yeah, imagine that these days too. It would last about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Why? I thought it was.
Oh, it was a great show.
Was it not politically correct?
Of course, especially with Dickie Nee and that. There's always
that was the puppet, yeah?
Yeah, the puppet. There was always those little comments made, you know, and they used to give it to
Kamal.
Oh, Kamal, I'm telling you, there's no way you're going to get away with what they did.
Didn't they do blackface?
Blackface, yeah.
And Finn used to always do I'm going to do it, I don't care. He used to always do the... John Blackman used to always do the voiceover and go, why are people so unkind? You know, because he used to do that, you know, why are people so unkind, you know?
Oh, it was a great show.
They used to give it to him, and then they used to give it to Livia Nixon.
Was it McDonald? Was that a name?
No, there was Olivia Nixon.
I remember the name.
There was a few of them. There was Jackie McDonald.
Jackie McDonald was a co-host, yeah.
But anyway, regardless, them two, the women there, I'm telling you, there's no way you can get away with the things they used to do to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
A lot of shows like that. I mean, even shows like Seinfeld wouldn't last 5 minutes these days.
Seinfeld is fantastic. That's one of our favourite shows.
Yeah, 100%.
But looking, I try. Well, they've got on Foxtel at the moment the Seinfeld channel 24 hours a day. Eric Banner, but some of those episodes on there with the the one about the being gay and the one about having the black.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. Yeah, that's the best line.
Having the black friend and all that sort of. And the Indian girlfriend, and you're an Indian giver.
You're an Indian giver. That's right. Yeah.
Kramer's running down the street with the big. He's got the Indian out in a cab. Like, oh man.
He's got to make a reservation at the restaurant.
Oh yes. What is going on in this world, man?
Yeah.
What is going on, man? It was so simple and no one got offended. Like
people laughed at themselves, didn't they?
And there was even worse shows than that. Like when I was younger, there was worse shows that things like Mind Your Language. Forget about doing that now, right? Love Thy Neighbour. That was one of the most racist things when you look at it now, but it was funny, man.
The Goodies, remember the Goodies?
Oh, good.
I shared a clip. I shared a video. I got a couple of memories the other day. It was last year, and there was a clip of, remember Bill Oddie, you wouldn't probably remember the Goodies, but used to remember on the ABC, it was compulsive viewing. It was Monkey. Remember Monkey? The Monkey, the Kenny Everett video show.
The Kenny Everett video show, yes.
Doctor Who and the Goodies, and there was a clip of Bill Oddie, and there's a woman in the kitchen, and he's trying to promote this new flour, and she's not interested in the flour, so he takes the thing and actually slaps her across the head, and then throws her on the chair, and he starts slapping her. I mean, this is on a TV show. He's slapping this woman around, and people laughed back in the day. And Kenny Everett was just as bad. He was awesome.
Yeah, they were such good shows.
Isn't it funny how, like, your generation had such political, like not political correctness.
Yeah, anything but.
My generation, we were pretty wild too. Like I grew up watching like South Park, and
the Simpsons and
Simpsons and
Seinfeld and all that kind
Chappelle show,
the Chappelle show,
like all those, right? How the fuck did we let it get so pussy?
Don't know, man.
Good question.
It kind of like crept up on us and kind of taken over.
But when it hit hard.
Yeah.
And it's all. But you remember back when we were watching those shows, though. I don't remember once thinking bad thoughts about a person of colour or a gay person. I was just like, I just laughed at the show.
Yeah,
but
it was just funny. Yeah,
you can't laugh.
Kingswood Country,
Kingswood Country,
and the Aussies.
So that's a very, very good point. So do you think that censorship has made us resent
100%
certain parts of society now?
Yes.
It has.
Do you think it's the fact that, hey, we can't laugh at this?
Yes.
But what it's also done is made people resent other people who they wouldn't necessarily normally resent.
100%.
And I'm sure there's people that resent maybe, with all there's anything wrong with it again, but the pride push and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Not that there's
nothing wrong with that. But people now have got resentment against gay people because it's just been, excuse the pun, forced down their throat.
Yeah,
I mean? That's just the way it is.
First donation of the night. Capsalis.
We're going to few.
$2. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, mate.
Just a simple comment, 6179. I have no idea what that means.
6179.
I have no idea what that means. If you want to elaborate, please, because that's...
There is no comment. I think he just gave us $2 and liked us.
It says 6179.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Thanks for the $2.
Nah, thanks, mate. Champ. Every time we get a donation, we...
all right, nice.
Give it a go.
It all helps. Keep it coming.
Helps, yeah. So, I think you're absolutely right. It's the media is...
Just a bit of censorship has made us 100%. Kind of... Because, like, let's be real. You wouldn't really think of, like... We'll stay on the pride thing. You wouldn't, care.
No.
Because, it was normalised. Not even making fun of it, but involving them in the joke.
Yep.
Normalised it. Yep. Whereas now you're saying, hey, you can't mock that. Yep. You can't say that. Well, why?
Yep.
Now I'm like, why is he special?
Yep.
I think it was a matter of people like, and I'm just talking for myself, it's like, okay, we've got the point. We understand that it's wrong to make fun of and all that sort of stuff and whatever used to go on, but it's like, okay, I get the point now. Do we really need to have the flags and the parade? I know the parades have been a big thing for a long time, but do we really just need to have it consistently or remind us that they should be accepted and treated like everyone? I've always treated them the same. It's never really worried me.
You know what? I think most people have.
They have, yeah.
I think most people have, like, you know, like these, like racism or against women or against that. It's a very, very small minority, right? I reckon most people are all accepting, we're all good, we're all doing it, but then they've turned it into where, like, what, now you're scared.
It's a political thing now. It's all a political tool. And like, the thing is, like, yes, I remember back in the day, there was racism there against Indigenous and all that sort of stuff, and all the jokes. And I must admit, at the time, sort of thinking it was pretty funny. But I think we've now got the message that it's not okay. So can we just move on? Do we need to continually just be bashed around the head with reminders about this and that? I think we get the message.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's attitudes have changed, but it's just like they consistently have to just ram it on us. And I think that's people resent that now.
And that's exactly what's happened with, like, the Welcome to Country, for example.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened. At the start, you go, all right, look, I understand.
Yeah.
I'll give it a welcome. And then they ram it down your throat every single event. Now they do it at schools. Now they do it everywhere. And now
you've just gone back full circle.
Yeah, and now you're going, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't want to listen to it. I actually, like, I think most people, when they hear it, they go, I don't want to hear, like, this is shit. Instead of going, you know, like, I don't know, like, they've just, you're right.
Well, that's probably the best example of the whole thing, is that it should be a special occasion. And most people now resent it because the common thing is, why am I being welcomed to my own country?
Exactly.
You know, and like, even when you're on a flight in Australia, I understand coming in from overseas into Australia, okay, it's good for Qantas, whatever, to say welcome to Australia, whatever land it is, that's okay. But when I'm flying from Melbourne to Sydney, do I really need to have a welcome to whatever it is? I mean, anyway, I mean, everyone's got their own views about it, but I just think it's just been politicised to death, and we don't need to be welcome to our own country, and especially they make a lot of money out of it too. And I think people resent that as well.
Resenting too, 100%, man. People are struggling, and then they're coming along and making a lot of money for this 2-minute thing, you know. And
the main thing about it is, when they talk, they don't actually say anything.
No.
They're welcome to whatever, and they have a little bit of a blurb about this and that, but there's no real rhythm or rhyme to it. So if there's actually a point to it, well, okay, but there's no point to it. Yeah. It's pretty much them saying, aren't you lucky that we're allowing you to play on our land, and if you're lucky, we'll let you do it again.
Yeah.
And people are like, screw that, I'm here to watch the friggin' footy.
Yeah, and look, I've been saying that for ages, man. Like, I'm here to watch the footy, right? I don't really care. Like, I've always said it, all these causes, I don't care about. I don't really care at all. I hate to be cruel. I don't care about the cancer. I don't care. Like, we've all been affected by it. I understand, man. I don't want anyone to get it. I'll donate when I can. I'll do all that. But when I'm at the footy, I don't need to be thrown in my face. I don't need the rainbow flags thrown in my face. I don't need every single cause thrown. I don't need respects round. Yeah. I know. There's
2 rounds that I think, or I like. One is obviously Anzac Day.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And Indigenous round's still good. I like Indigenous round.
Right. So
celebrate the Aboriginal or Indigenous involvement in the game and the culture.
And
that's great.
100%.
But that's not a cause. That's a recognition.
Yeah, no, and I agree. But now with that Indigenous now goes for too long, right?
It does, But it's 2 weeks now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks now. But all right, 2 weeks, because not everyone can do it at home and that. So I understand, and you know, like, I totally agree. There are some of the other causes, like, for example, Collingwood will do the Peter Mac.
Yeah.
Every year, 1 round, you know, but they don't throw it down your throat. No, they do it. The other one is probably the Children's Hospital on the Good Friday. But it's Good Friday. You already know it's Children's Hospital Day, you know. So that
it doesn't take over the round.
No, it doesn't.
It's just, hey, people, everyone out there, please recognise it's a great cause, and people got no dramas donating to a great cause.
Yeah.
But when it's a political sort of cause,
I hate it.
The worst one, I hate to say it again, nothing's not wrong with it, but the Pride round. Why do we have a Pride round? Again, we get it. Do we need to have the rainbow jumpers and don't get it. Anyway.
I'd love to see the sales numbers of the pride jumpers. I'd love to see them. I'd love to see how
What do you reckon, they're up or down?
Nah, they're fucking down. I want to see how much money they're losing on them.
Yeah.
You know? Have they learned their lessons? Are they printing less of them? Do they know this? Are they being made to order? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see how they're making money from those. The majority of people just want to see their team play footy.
Yep.
It's all I'm there for.
You know?
And, you know, like I've said this, life's hard, right? Life's a struggle, man. Day in, day out. I don't care what everyone says. Life to me, and I know I sound sad here, but it's a misery with a few gold nuggets in there, you know?
Fuck, you're depressed, bro.
No, but it is, man. Like, you think about it. You get up, you got to go to work, you got to go do that. And then if you're lucky, you got some hobbies and that, you know. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm a pretty joyful kind of guy. You know?
You just said life's miserable.
But it is, man. It's hard, man. You're just trying to survive every day, you know. And footy's one of my outlets.
Yep.
Right? Footy's. So when I go to the footy, I really just want to be a dumbass. Like just, whoa, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yep.
That's all I want to do. I don't want to be thinking about political things. I don't want to be thinking about let me watch the footy, bro, man. Let me watch the footy, you know. That's it. That's all I want to do because that's my joy. Sometimes in my week, that's my only joy for the week, you know.
Yeah.
It's been a hard week. You've been at work, you know.
And you're looking forward to...
Maybe, you know, something's happened, you know, your missus and that, and you just want to go there and forget about it for 2 hours. And what do? They remind you of more misery around the world, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's it. So I think if people have listened to me for long enough, they know that that's my stance, you know. Like, it's a misery.
Well, I want to talk to you.
Yes.
So you've had quite a career in the boxing ring.
Yeah. So, I suppose inside and outside. Yeah.
So, if you want to get into it, how did you start? How did it all start?
I started when I was 10 years old, actually.
What got you in there?
I have no idea. I've actually been asked this before. I have no idea. I felt like I was tapped on the shoulder and chosen. I don't know why, but I had no family or anything or friends that were in boxing. I was just a kid who just loved not fighting outside the ring, but just loved the whole idea of boxing and had my first fight at 11. And
What did you do? Did you go to a boxing
Yeah, there was a local gym. There wasn't many in Bendigo at the time, and I found a great guy named Pat Connolly, and he had a little gym in his house, in his garage, and I went there, and I think I'd been training for a couple of months, and he threw me in an exhibition, I think it was somewhere in Ballarat, actually. And it was illegal, by the way. It wasn't sanctioned. I think it was at the Buninyong Football Club or something, and they just put on these fights on a Saturday night. And I remember it.
Just throw some kids in there.
I was 10 years old. I think the legal age was 11 or 12. It must have been 11 because I had my first fight at 11, and fought the local hero down there, and he had all his people, all his family and friends cheering, and it was just the buzz of it. And it was funny because I'd only been taught the jab to the head and jab to the body. That's all I was allowed to throw.
Yeah.
So I didn't throw a right hand. I didn't know how to throw it. I was told, nah, you've got to jab to the head. And that's all I did all night. It was just jab to the head and jab to the body. That's all I did. And it was a great experience. But they would laugh about being kids. But I remember on the night there was, as a bit of a feature attraction, they had 8 kids in the ring, and they all had blindfolds on. And it was whoever lasted to the end. So you got all these kids blindfolded,
Was that one of the five?
just bowling each other, bowling each other over. Kids going down left, right, and centre. It was funny at the time, but I mean, it was crazy to think about. Yeah, 8 kids.
This is unreal. I've never heard of it.
Just out there throwing haymakers. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. But I had my first fight at 11 at the Braybrook RSL, I think it was, I think it was called, or the hotel. It might have been the Braybrook Hotel. And even though I was about 4'5", I was tiny. I think I weighed 30 odd kilos at the time. I barely even made it up to the top rope, and I remember the ceiling being about this far above my head. That's how low it was, and you're allowed to smoke in the arenas back then.
Yeah.
So it was this cloud of smoke around. I could barely breathe. I remember fighting 3 1-minute rounds, it was, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. And it was just an unbelievable experience, and I had probably about 100 fights, I suppose, over the journey.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just my life for 15 years,
So you remember that first fight?
Yeah, I still remember it, yeah.
Were you nervous?
No, and I got really nervous in the fights after that. My first fight didn't even.
Because you probably didn't know what was.
Didn't even register. When I went down, I didn't actually think I was going to get a fight. We went down to watch, and he said, my coach said, bring your gear just in case. You never know, because fights between two kids weighing 33 kilos or something wasn't a common thing. There wasn't many kids around, and it just so happened there was a young guy from Chelsea, and his name was Khan Johnson. I remember I fought him 3 times, and he didn't have a fight either, so we just jumped in there, and I wasn't nervous at all. I actually enjoyed it. But my next fight, I had time to think about it, and my next probably half a dozen fights after that, I'd get so sick I'd be dry reaching in the ring. I was that nervous, and at the end of the fight, my trainer would have a bucket waiting for me because I'd vomit after the fight. So so I don't know how I ended up getting through, but I won my first few fights, and just all I lived for 15 years was just boxing.
Did you ever had to make a decision? As far as, like, was there anything else other than boxing? Like, were you into any other sports? Because you hear a lot of athletes, they're good at a couple sports and they get to like 13, 14.
They've got to make a choice.
Was it always boxing?
Not with me. I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, some of them got to make a choice between footy and cricket or footy and basketball or something like that. Not for me. It was just boxing. Okay. I wasn't really good at anything anyway, to be honest. I was only good at punching on.
And when did you know? I can actually make
it's funny, isn't it? Because, as I said, I felt like I'd been chosen. And because whenever I got in there, I don't mean to sound arrogant or cocky or anything, but it always just seemed easy. At the time as a kid, I just always got the better of other kids and even some adults that I sparred. And so I sort of knew I was okay, but you never really know until you're actually in the ring and and it's for real. But I just sort of kept winning, and I got a few reminders along the way. Don't worry about that. I mean, everyone in life needs a clip, and I got plenty of clips on the journey.
Have to in the ring,
but I sort of knew. I won my first state title, I think, in my second year, and then.
How old?
I was 13, I think.
Wow. Young,
But like, I must have been. It's a good question, because I never really thought about it as such. I just enjoyed fighting, and I just happened to be good at it. And I don't know why. It was just like one of those things, and I knew, I suppose you get momentum, and I knew that I was starting to get a lot of attention from the state coaches and the scouts and all that sort of stuff that want you in different camps and on different teams and all that sort of stuff. And I remember going to the Nationals in '87, and I think I was 14 in '87, and won the Nationals that year. And that's probably when the penny dropped that, well, geez, this could be, could be my future. Yeah. And my brother actually went to the Worlds in '89 and did pretty well over there. And I thought, I'll always touch him up a little bit, so I must be okay. But big brother syndrome, I can tell you. He used to give me a lot of touch-ups. Yeah. But I did all right against him, and he actually did pretty well at the World. So, but yeah, I suppose, I know it's a strange thing to say, but it never dawned on me that I wasn't going to make it. I know it's hard to explain. I just knew that the vision was always there, and I just knew that I was just going there, I suppose. And I suppose if you talk to a lot of footy players and any athletes that have sort of made it, they don't sort of doubt themselves at all. It's almost like it's their destiny, I suppose. Yeah. And that's why I might have told this story when I was on here, Rocco, that when I got the letter to say I'd been chosen for the Olympics, I was like, okay, that's another box ticked. It wasn't backflips and high fives. It was, there's another goal reached. That's really all it was.
That's amazing,
and I can't really explain the feeling, but it was like, all right, I know from 10 years of age, I think I got chosen for Olympics at 22, so it's been 12 years, and even though the road sort of goes like this, the goal was always there, and when I got there, it was like, just mission accomplished. That's really what it was like.
And 22 is still quite young in a boxer's career. Like
it is, But by that stage, I had probably about 60 or 70 fights by that stage,
And what was that experience like, the Commonwealth Games?
Well, the Olympics were first.
Oh, Olympics.
It were 96.
Yeah.
Look, it was a bittersweet time for me because they always say you need 2 Olympics. One to experience it, one to compete. I fell in the first category when I forgot what I was there for. Yeah. So I got caught up with all the media and... I've got the Aussie tracksuit on. I remember going down to get fitted for my tracksuit with Andrew Gaze, and I'm sort of stargazing Andrew Gaze, and going to the to Olympic Village and getting over there and seeing all these athletes, and I got starry-eyed. I just, you know, I got sort of perplexed by the whole thing and forgot that I'm actually one of those athletes competing. And I remember sitting in the room where they have the papers and TVs and that sort of stuff, and there's Karen Perkins there and Kathy Freeman over there, and I mean, it's just like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
This is my life.
Yeah,
at 22.
And I suppose I felt, not that I felt inferior, but I never put myself at the level of, they were unbelievable athletes, but at the elite sort of level, I suppose. And I suppose I felt like, do I really deserve to be here? Yeah, and that's what I was.
Understand
that's the feeling I had. And I'm just a country boy from Bendigo, you know, and never really been out sort of anywhere. So it was a real eye opener. And then I remember I was the least experienced on the team. It was my first big tournament. And I remember getting over there, and first day, first session, I was in. So I didn't have a chance to experience it all. I didn't have a chance to see some of the more experienced guys get in there. Just first day, first session, in you go. And I remember, because I think we had 2 pairs of boots they gave us, boxing boots, and somehow mine got mixed up. So I had one boot that was too small and one boot that was too big. So I had to get my teammates to go back to the village and get me the right boots. So I was all flustered and nervous, and it was pretty hard. And the night before was the opening ceremony, and I think it was great at the time, but it was stinking hot. We were one of the first teams to go around the Oval, which was awesome to be 80 or 90,000 people there. It was great. See all the Aussies there. It was fantastic, and on cloud 9. But then we had to sit in the middle of the Oval for about 3 hours while they did the rest of the ceremony. So at the end of it, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm really just hot and bothered. And I got about 4 hours sleep or something that night, and so it wasn't the best, but no matter any of that, it wouldn't have made any difference, because the guy I fought was just A1. He was a really good fighter. And
what country?
Kazakhstan.
Okay.
And they're really good at boxing. I didn't know that at the time, by the way, because the separation had just happened.
Yeah.
And I thought, Kazakhstan, where's that? Never heard of it. It can't be that good. Well, he was pretty good. So none of it would have made any difference, but it certainly didn't help. And I had to sit around for 2 weeks sort of feeling sorry for myself, and you know, that wasn't great. But I remember the morning after I fought, there was a bang on the door really early. It was like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the hell was going on here? Because I was too embarrassed to call home. There's no mobile phones back then, by the way, or they might have just come in, but I didn't have one. So I was too embarrassed to ring home. I just felt totally humiliated, because the build-up in Bendigo had been massive and lots of exposure. I was just hoping and praying that no one saw my fight, because I was on in the middle of the night, but everyone did, of course. And there was a bang on the door, and I opened the door, and there's Laurie Lawrence. Remember Laurie Lawrence? Yeah. And he was there with Debbie Flintoff King, who won a gold in '88. He said, right, you're the boxer, aren't you? I said, yeah. He said, right, not feeling sorry for yourself, let's go. And he ended up taking me out for the day. Yeah, he took me out for the day with him and Debbie. And we went around to probably 4 or 5 different sports. He introduced me to all the swimmers and the athletes and the track and field, and just spent the day with them, and it really sort of helped pick me up. And
how good was that?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, he was unbelievable, Laurie Lawrence. So afterwards, that sort of perked me up a little bit. I still wasn't game to ring home for a couple of days though. After that though, and then I was actually at the Olympic Village when the bomb went off. Do you remember the bomb in '96?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was there in the park.
In the village. Yeah.
I was in the park that night where it went off. Yeah.
But there was actual bomb.
Yeah, there was a...
Holy shit, I didn't remember
that. There was a movie about it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, there's an actual Hollywood movie about it, yeah. And we were actually at the park where it went off that night. And I didn't know. I went back to the village not thinking too much about it. And I get a message the next day that my mum's sort of on the phone, you know, what the hell are you doing? Because I hadn't rung home or anything by that stage. And
been worried, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, after that, I sort of got over it pretty quick. I went back to Australia and... went to the Nationals that year, even though the rest of the team, none of them went, because they were all off partying and doing whatever. Yeah. I sort of felt that I had to sort of redeem myself, so I went back to the Nationals. That was actually here in Melbourne, and I won that. Then went to South Africa and won gold over there in the Commonwealth Championships, not the games, just the championships. Yep. And that sort of really got me sort of back on track. And the Commonwealth Games were in '98. I went to the Worlds in '97 in Hungary. And then the Commonwealth Games in '98, and I won bronze there. I lost in the semis to a Canadian, But great experience.
Effort, man. Hey, man.
Yeah,
bronze,
well, yeah.
that's, you know.
Bronze still didn't cut it for me. I went there to win gold.
Yeah, of course.
You know, when you go to the Commonwealth Games, if you're an Australian, you expect to win.
Yeah.
Now, even though in boxing, there's some great, well, all sports, there's some great countries, Canada, England, Scotland, Ireland, all those countries are there. New Zealand, of course, but I went there to win gold. So I think I won 3 fights and then lost to the Canadian in the semis. And that was it. That was my last fight. So, and,
was it?
Yeah, that was it. I said, that's it. Retired. I just turned 25 at the time.
So you retired
Yeah. I probably hadn't even hit my peak.
Yeah.
I just turned 25, I think, the month before the games.
What was was it the not quite, you know, getting to your goal?
No, well, it's funny, you know, like, as I said before, like, the goal was always the Olympic Games and everything else. But what happened was that when I was 10 years of age, not only was the Olympics, it was Commonwealth Games, it was World Championships representing Australia and all this sort of stuff. And then when the Commonwealth Games were over, it was almost like, even though I hadn't got the results that I wanted in a lot of them, all the boxes were ticked. And I didn't really have anything else to do. And I mean, a lot of people said you should have turned pro. And I did have actually conversations with Jeff Fennick at the time. He was training fighters and he was over there as a commentator. And I remember talking to him afterwards, and Danny Green was there as well. He ended up going with Jeff. So we had a few conversations about it, but it's like, you know what, I just haven't got the fire in the belly anymore. I was in love as well, by the way. She's probably watching now. I'd met my wife Tara a couple of years before that, and I think we're getting married at the end of '98 when the Commonwealth Games were on. We're about to go into the pub for the first time, so I just didn't really have the desire to do it. And when unlike a lot of sports, boxing, you're either all in or you're all out.
I was just about to say.
You can't be 99%. You've got to be 100%.
Yeah, I feel like with boxing, if you don't have that desire, man, if your reaction time's not, you know, if you're just a bit lazy or if you're just not on.
It's a very lonely sport, and whether you're amateur or professional, you've got to be up in the morning, you've got to do the road work, you've got to be dieting, you've got to do your strength conditioning and your obviously recovery like all sports do, but you've got to do a lot of it by yourself. And then you got to go to the gym at night and get, you know, punched around, and you know it's really tough and brutal, and that's why I said, like, you're all in or you're all out, and I just didn't have it anymore, and I was pretty lucky actually that after the Commonwealth Games and I got married, went in the business, that competitive sort of I suppose feeling I've had since I've been at such a young age. It was fulfilled by a new challenge in the business. Like, I just worked 7 days a week. I just like boxing, but it was like into the business.
Yeah, of course.
So I was at the business all day, just putting everything into it. I treated it like, you know, the boxing, you know, if you want to do it, you got to be the best. You just can't go to work every day and expect it to happen. So I just put all my energy and competitive spirit in the business, and fortunately that was successful as well. So
that's the attitude, isn't it?
You have to have the attitude, yeah.
If you want to succeed or you want something, you have to be the best. You know, you've got to treat everything like that. Yeah. You know, when you get into the ring, right? Were you ever scared? Like, what are you scared of? Are you scared of Are you scared of getting hurt?
No.
So you're not scared of getting hurt. So what are you scared of?
All right. So it's a good question, actually. I think this would be the same if you spoke to any fighter.
Yep.
Scared of failure, scared of letting people down, scared of letting yourself down, but not once was I ever scared of getting hurt.
Interesting.
And I was never scared of an opponent, but I was scared of the whole situation, to the point where I had the old rubber legs going and having to be sort of pushed into the ring. So, but when I got in the ring, like, again, most fighters are, as soon as you get in the ring, you've done your ring walk, it all vanishes, and all of a sudden you're ready to go.
Yeah.
As soon as you get in the ring and you look across the other side and you see the opponent and the bell rings, and it's all forgotten, and you get on with it. But the worst time, and obviously, and also maybe even the best time and most exciting time, is when the fight before you know it's the last round and that final bell goes, and that's when it's just the nerves just explode, and you think, oh my God, you know, this is actually going to happen. And you know, and your trainer says, right, let's go, and that's when you're like, you know, you like this. Wow. But then as soon as I got in the ring, no dramas whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then when the bell,
it's only you and the opponent. I mean, they say it's the loneliest place.
Well,
in the
world.
But
the thing is, though, what you got to remember is the other guy's feeling exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's the consolation, I suppose. But it all comes down to attitude as well. And I remember when I got in the ring, especially in Australia, again, not trying to sound arrogant, but it was my ring. You know, that's the attitude I had. You know, I'm the man, this is my ring, and, you know, I'm going to take it out on you. That's the attitude you got to have. A little bit different when you go overseas, because they're in the ring with Germans and Russians and Cubans, all this sort of stuff. They're looking at us like,
yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing here, mate? You're Australia. Do they even have boxing over there? This is the attitude they have.
That's it.
So you can't help sometimes, but like be a little bit standoffish.
Did you ever go in and see an opponent and be scared of him? Like, was there ever no one?
No, I must have been at the Olympics when I walked out behind the Kazakhstan guy, and I saw he was like, you know, like this. And I thought, I reckon he's got the wrong session here. He looks like he's a couple of divisions above me. He was big.
Yeah.
And I was actually quite small for my weight, actually. But I remember walking out behind him thinking, I think I'm in a fight here. And he was good. And he openly admitted he gave me a touch-up in the fight. And but it was a great learning experience. And I think it made me a better fighter for after that. But yeah, no, it was definitely an adrenaline rush. I remember being at the games, the Floyd Mayweathers of the world were there, and a few of the others. One of the guys I almost fought, I was picked out, I think the last person of Group A. He was the first person of Group B. He was the American. I would have loved to have fought him because obviously in Atlanta, to fight the American in his home country. He ended up going on to win like 3 world titles. Fernando Vargas was his name. He fought De La Hoya and Mayweather and all these guys, and just an absolute legend. Yeah. And I've met him a few times over there, and we've actually had a bit of a laugh that we were that close to actually fighting each other. And the only thing he said to me was, "Lucky for you, buddy." And I'm like, well, you're probably right, actually, yeah. But it would have been great to fight someone like that. Would have been awesome. But look, all in all, it was a great experience, and you know, I really look back on the career fondly, and I'm pretty proud of what I did.
You should be.
As I said, the results probably weren't what I really wanted, but I mean, dreams don't always come true, and you always have hiccups. And I'm just grateful that I got out in one piece and can still put a sentence together. No,
100%.
Not licking windows or anything like that, you know. I'm still doing all right.
100%, man. I mean, it's a tough sport, but
it is.
I always find the fascinating because I like boxing. I like and just knowing that getting into the ring, like that was interesting that you were never scared. I was always wondered, were you scared of the opponent? You know what I mean? But you can't be.
You can't be.
You can't be. I mean, you'd be already on the back foot if you are scared of the opponent. But that first punch you cop in the face where like, or maybe one in the guts where it was like you lose your breath.
Well, the worst are in the guts.
Yeah, because then you lose your breath and then they come after you. And I suppose you've done the same back the other way. I mean, how's that? You know, like you cop it and then you're almost surviving then, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate I was never really sort of dropped hard or knocked out or anything like that.
Were you ever knocked out?
Yeah, no, never knocked out, no. No, I was dropped a couple of times though. Yeah. Actually, one was in sparring for the Commonwealth Games, and by rights I probably shouldn't have fought because I was knocked down. I wasn't knocked out, but I was knocked down and was rattled. So technically had concussion. I should have been ruled out. Yes. But of course, it's like let's just
let's keep that
under wraps. But I was knocked down for real, and against a guy who ended up becoming a really good friend and an Olympic teammate and a Commonwealth Games teammate. And I fought him in '93 at the Nationals, and hit him with a right hand right down the middle. I think I did about 3 somersaults when he hit me, and that's probably the only time I was really knocked down. I got up, but I don't remember the fight at all, really, because he hit me that hard. I don't remember it. I mean, he could knock out a horse. That's how hard he hit this guy. And as I said, we're really good mates to this day. But yeah, when you're fighting, it's funny because you don't really feel it until, well, even if you get knocked out, I suppose, you don't feel anything. You wake up looking at the ceiling, you know, with the birds sort of going around. It's probably like if you play a game of footy or whatever it might be, you don't really feel the aches and pains until the game's over. And boxing was a little bit that way. And if you get hit with a good shot, the main thing that goes through your head is, I've got to get that back. You know, the judges obviously seen that, and I've got to get it back. Body shots were never much fun because they're worse than getting hit to the head, because in the body it's like you're paralysed. It's like, you know, if you've been winded, there's nothing. There's no better. There's no worse feeling. On the flip side too, there's no better feeling than when you hit someone, and it's like you pop a balloon. It's like, you know, and your air goes out of them, and that's, but not good when it happens to you. And that's happened a lot of times. And no matter how much you prepare, you can't really prepare for a good body shot.
So I want to go outside the ring a little bit. Knowing the skills that you possess with your hands, how did that translate to your life out of the ring? if you were going out, if you ever got yourself into a situation, how did you handle it? Because you probably know in your head, I could take 90% of these blokes, 99% of these blokes, I could probably take, but you can't, right? So how did you kind of navigate that? Were you ever in a situation where you had to remove yourself, or without incriminating yourself?
No, I can honestly say in all the years that I was fighting, it was never an issue because I just never put myself in that position.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find, whether it be boxing or karate or MMA or whatever those sports are, is that those guys, the real good guys I'm talking about, the elite guys, you never see them in fights outside of the ring. They don't need to. They don't need to puff the chest out and...
They need to prove themselves.
No, you always find... Like, if I was out and wanted to cause trouble, the last person I would pick on is the quiet guy in the corner.
Yeah.
And that's true, because they're always the ones that can handle themselves and have no need to puff the chest out and make themselves known and tell everyone how great they are. The ones that tell everyone how great they are, they're the first ones you would go for, because they're all sort of mouth. So I sort of found myself, I never put myself in that position. A couple of times there was some dramas around me. It was never based around me misbehaving or whatever. And I must admit, I never had anyone want to have a go because of who I was. And I think that's how you project yourself.
Of course.
And as I said, you'll find the main guys out there, or in the world, no matter what sport they're in, what art they do, is that they just don't need to prove themselves. They just don't. All those ones with the chest puffed out of as I said, they're the ones that probably don't know how to handle themselves.
100%.
They're the most insecure ones.
They always say, the dog who barks never bites.
It's 100% right. Yeah, I think it's just how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
And I hate, I know it sounds silly, but I hate fighting outside the ring.
Yep.
Can't stand it. I see two blokes punch on the, I'm like, oh shit, there's blood. Oh my God, that's what I'm looking at. And I would do anything to get out of a street fight. Yeah, I could probably handle myself in the street, but I just don't need to, and never put myself in that position.
Yeah,
so
cool. I've just always wanted to know, because it's like, maybe because of the places I go, or I used to go, like you go out to a nightclub, you go to a pub, you go to a bar, and this bloke gets mouthy, gets lippy to you. It's like most of the time, you're smart enough to just walk away.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like if you're forced to do it, it's like, it's nice to know that you can fucking handle yourself.
Well, it's... Yeah. I suppose the golden rule is you never start it, but you always finish it. That's probably the main thing. But, I think... I get where you're coming from. But, I mean, if you go out to nightclubs and bars, I suppose you've got to expect at some stage there might be something. But I never really did that. And if I did, always had a group of friends. And when I did go out to nightclubs back in the day, in Bendigo, there was the nightclub owner we knew really well, and he'd look after us and put us in a little corner and that sort of stuff. So it was never really a drama. But it's
true. I mean, you got to... Most people
think about how many footballers, like I've seen footballers out, and you got guys coming up to them when they're
I don't know how they do it,
and just abusing them, and it's like, and the players just kind of laugh it off, like
they have to.
But if, like, one day it's just there's gonna be someone that's just gonna get to them. It's gonna potentially put their hands on them, and
what you sort of find is, though, there's always a minder. Yeah. So with those football players, there's always someone lurking in the shadows around them, just looking out for them. Yeah. If something does happen, you're in a bit of strife. And really, to be honest with you, the footy players or anyone that's a personality or whatever should not go out with someone like that in this day and age, especially footy.
Yeah,
I would think. Because when it comes to combat sports, even though you will get the piss ones that are a bit lippy, there's always a mate saying, mate, what are you doing? Just leave them alone,
Yeah, 100%.
They always, it's the opposite. They have a mate that normally drags them off and says, just
I mean, the guys who are trying to start a fight, especially with a footy player or maybe a boxer or something, I mean, they're heroes. They're trying to prove that who they are. Look what I did, you know what I mean?
But even with footy players, though, I know a lot of them don't actually do boxing or any combat sports, but these guys train for a living.
Yeah.
And I worked at Carlton for a year. I saw the way they train, and they are... all they do is train, and they're just units, like they're just built, and I wouldn't be taking one of them on.
No
they're just
chance.
The engine's the size of a tank, and they're just, all they do is they do weights, they probably do things like MMA and wrestling, all that sort of stuff.
They do all that too.
And all they do all day is train, and so good luck trying to outcondition one of those guys.
And with like fighting outside a ring, I mean, one wrong punch, and you're fucked. It doesn't matter who you are, you know what I mean? So, just like you said, man, just walk away, keep out of it, man.
That's what I mean, because like they're weapons. Your hands are weapons.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I remember doing security one night, and the UFC was in town, and we got a call saying, "Hey, listen, there's going to be about 20 UFC guys coming through. Just keep them out of trouble. Like just keep them in a corner, like you said. Just give them their space and whatever. Yeah, cool, no worries." And I can't remember the fighter's name, but he didn't look huge, but he's a Mighty Mouse. I don't know if you know Mighty Mouse.
No, I never heard of him.
Anyway, pound for pound, arguably one of the greatest ever. And but he's not huge. He's in there, and there was this guy fucking, just going up to him, trying to think, and we're just pushing this guy, and I'm just like, mate, you don't want to, but you don't even want to, But and this guy was like, I'll take him. He's a dog. You don't even know the bloke.
This unreal.
Get out of here. And I'm just like, this guy had no idea.
I don't think, I was going to say, I don't think they have any idea, especially the MMA guys, mate. They can tie you up in knots, and before you know it, I wouldn't be messing with them.
What are your thoughts on MMA and
UFC?
Yeah, so UFC, MMA.
Yeah.
And like what it's kind of done to the sphere of combat sport.
Yeah, I respect the fighters a lot, more than anything. But I must admit, UFC is not my cup of tea. I'm not saying I don't. Well, I probably am saying I don't like it. I don't watch it. I've been to the UFC a couple of times. Just recently in it was the Aussie Madalena, is it, in New York, Madison Square Garden, a couple of weeks ago. I was actually at that fight, and they put on a great event. And as I said, I really admire the fighters, but I just can't get into it, especially when they're on the ground and all that sort of stuff. And I take my hat off to the way they train and prepare and everything else, and the fact they get in there. It's a bloody dangerous sport, but it's not for me. I'm just boxing. And you got it these days. You've got the bare knuckle stuff, which I just can't stand. And then the new one, which is the brawling. I don't know if you've seen that.
Is that like the backyard stuff?
No, it's brand new. And what it is, it's a combination of all different sports. So they wear MMA gloves. So I think they're 4-ounce gloves, but it's boxing rules. And when they call it brawling, so it's boxing rules. I think it's in a smaller, it might even be a triangle or a diamond type of ring. There's a thing in the middle of the ring where the buzzer or something goes, they've got to go to this bit and they can't leave it. They've just got to punch on. So all these people are thinking all these new ways for people to punch each other out, I suppose. And you've got the backyard stuff as well. But no, I'm just boxing, mate. I'm old school.
Do you think the UFC has taken over the boxing? Like, did it affect it?
UFC's really given boxing something to think about, but it's a different type of crowd. Going to a big boxing night compared to a big UFC night, it's totally different. There's a lot more testosterone in the building in a UFC fight, I can tell you.
There is.
There's a lot of sleeve tattoos, and you haven't got sleeves. I'm sorry, mate.
No sleeve. No.
But I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It's a different type of crowd. I've seen lots of fights in the crowd at UFC. Don't really see it in boxing. Boxing's a more older demographic. What you see in boxing is more, you either get the really sort of young ones, so the teenagers, sort of 15 or 16, or then you get the over sort of 40s. There's not much in between. And UFC is that demographic. It's the 18 to sort of 35 market, and they love it, and that's great. But it's a whole different crowd to me. But UFC is definitely showing boxing, a lot of things they can do better. I like the concept of UFC where it's one belt, and there's a ranking system that's done properly, and I just think it's fantastic the way they do it. Boxing's a bit of a mess with all the different belts.
It is a bit of a mess, and it's like, to me, I don't know, it's not the same anymore, you know what I mean? It hasn't got that feel. Remember the old days with the old fella? I'll go right back, to the tie, because I love Mike Tyson and that sort of era.
They were the glory days,
Yeah, and the heavyweight champion was, he was the champion of the world, you know, like everyone knew. I don't know, people wouldn't even know who the heavyweight champion is now.
No, there's still, actually, one good thing about the heavyweights at the moment is one champion, Alexander Usyk, although, I take that back, he's just lost one of his belts. Now there's some other guy that's got it. That's what I don't like about boxing. But one thing I will say is when there's a massive boxing event, UFC is pretty quickly forgotten, I can tell you. I mean, I'm talking a massive fight, like the recent one with Canelo and Crawford. 80,000 something people at the arena, records sort of just will never be broken again with pay-per-views and all that sort of stuff. So, and even our old mate Jake Paul, you know.
Well, this week's going to be a big one.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah.
So, to me, you sound like a boxing purist. How do you feel about what the Jake Paul effect in boxing?
Oh, I don't really know. I mean, look, it's probably good on one sort of side of the fence in that he's bringing a lot more eyeballs to the sport that maybe might not want to watch it or would normally watch it. But on the flip side, I just hate the way he's treating boxing. He's treating it like it's his little toy or something. And he's not really making any secret about it. And I think this week's fight, I'll be really interested to see what happens. But I mean, he cops a lot of flack, and I'm probably one of the main ones that love to hoe into him. But I will say he's done a lot for women's boxing. He's got his promotional company called MVP, so most valuable promotions, and he's signed all the best women in the world, and he's putting on all female cards.
Well, we've got an Australian this on
Saturday. Shanika Johnson,
she's fighting for a
undisputed
belt.
Yeah. So she's with him. Sorry, I was at the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight earlier in the year at Madison Square Garden. The place was absolutely packed, and the atmosphere there was was one of the best fight nights I've been to, and they were all women. Yeah. A lot of the fights didn't deliver like in the ring, but the atmosphere and everything in there was just nuts. So I'll give him credit for that. But as far as what he's doing with the sport, I think he's sort of made a bit of a mockery of it. But we'll see what this week's like, or what the fight's like, because if it's actually a legitimate event and it's actually a proper fight, well, I take my hat off to him. You have to. I mean, Anthony Joshua, Olympic gold medalist, 2-time heavyweight champion, and if he gets in there and goes toe-to-toe with him for real, nothing scripted or whatever.
Last 5-6 rounds.
You got to take your hat off to him.
And he has got better. He has got better. He definitely...
He's gone from an E grader to probably a D grader, but he's got better.
But he's not going to be... if it's a legitimate fight, I can't really see it lasting more than 3 or 4 rounds.
Shouldn't last 2 rounds if it's real.
I hated the fight with Tyson.
Yeah.
That was just...
Yeah. That was rigged. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree.
That was rigged, and Tyson could have killed him. Even at 55... I've watched that fight a couple of times, man. He held back. There was a couple of times because there's muscle memory in fighting.
Yeah.
He's in there and he's about to, and he's pulled back. That's definitely but you know what I liked about the Tyson fight? I know it was all like a big show. Maybe it was rigged, whatever. But watching Tyson come out again for one last time, I don't know. For me, I loved it. It's a bit like when you go and see a concert, right? And you go and see like AC/DC, and they go, Brian Johnson, his voice is not the same. He's 80 years old. Of course it's not the same, but you still saw AC/DC. You were lucky just to see. It doesn't matter you were 80. He was 80. And same with Tyson, just to see him walk out.
It was good,
It was just good to see.
It was sort of good in that respect. Sad for the result and the way it went. But I think, it was good to see.
Because you want to remember Tyson for what he was, you know. You don't want to see him coming out there as a 55-year-old, trying to do that. That's what you want to remember. Like, I can't even watch the fights he's lost.
Yeah.
I can't rewatch them because they make me sad. Yeah. You know, I only want to see him as that 4-year period as the. Do
you remember him back in the late 80s though? What he was like? I mean, he was only in his early 20s back then too, by the way.
Well, 19 he got the heavyweight.
I think he just turned 20 actually. I think he's the youngest heavyweight champion.
He's the youngest. I know it was 19 or 20, but he was definitely the youngest. Yeah.
So 20 years of age, and he had that run from late '86 until Buster Douglas at the start of 1990. So he had 3.5 years, whatever it was, where you remember it was just pulverising guys left, right, and centre.
If you got past round 2, you were lucky.
Yeah, and not just what he was doing in the ring, but the attention that boxing was getting at the time. He was the Michael Jordan of boxing, wasn't he? Probably bigger. He was just the superstar of all superstars.
100%.
And what he did for boxing. Remember, there was no fights you could get at home at that stage. You'd have to go to a pub or whatever, and the 100%. Pubs were packed. You just could not get into the pubs. 100%. Fennick was the same as well.
Yeah, Fennick was the same as he was Australian. But, and the thing was, if you were late, you could miss the whole fight. Yeah.
Or go to the toilet or something,
you could miss the whole fight.
But you remember just the feel of the fights beforehand, just the tension in the air when you walked in.
And this is what I mean, you don't get that anymore. I don't know why. I don't know why you don't get that. Like, it was just... again, it was that mysterious, like, it was Tyson. He came out. He used to come out in the black trunks and just no top. Just with the humming
black shoes, no socks.
No socks.
When he walked out against Spinks that time, all you could hear is chains sort of clanging in the background. It was just this dull noise, and then you hear the chains clank. You're like, geez. And the look on Spinks' face in the ring, I was like, geez.
My favourite Tyson in-ring moment wasn't even when he threw a punch. When he was staring at his opponent, like
his eyes,
his eyes, and he's just chewing on his mouth guard.
Was that McNeely?
McNeely, it was too. McNeely, and you got to watch the interview.
I have seen it.
Beforehand, I can do that for my grandfather. I'm going to do it for my dad. You're not doing nothing, bro. Get there.
And he sees Tyson, and you just see those eyes.
I'll tell you what, though, he went for it. Remember?
I'm going to say in the first 20, 30 seconds,
he went for it.
He went straight for it. And then Susie got knocked down. He got back up again. So look, and who was the guy who he fought where he walked out of the ring? What was his name? Remember
who Tyson did?
Yeah, no. Well, Tyson didn't walk out the ring. The other guy walked out the ring. He just walked out. He didn't want to fight.
Really?
Anymore.
I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
He just walked out.
Yeah, he was. He did it. I think it lasted a couple of rounds, 2 or 3 rounds, and then he copped a couple, and then he just walked down. And his trainer's going to him, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he's going, "That's it. I've had enough."
Was that Gallotta?
Oh, I think it was Gallotta.
Yeah, that was later in his career. That one.
Yeah, of course, it was later in his career. But he walked out. And just goes, "I'm not doing this anymore." You know.
I had a run-in with that guy at the Olympics. A quick story. I'm in a bar after the fights. This is in the days afterwards, and as all the athletes did, they all went out and got on the piss and everything else. And we're at this bar during the daytime, having a good time, and I stepped down. I stepped on something. I stepped on someone's foot, and I looked up, and it's that Andrew Gallotta just staring down at me, and it reminded me of Rocky IV with Drago. You know, that's what he looked at me like. And he's like 6'8" or something. I'm 5'8" or whatever it is. He's looking down at me, and I'm thinking I'm in a bit of trouble here. But he just said, "It's all right." You know? I was like, peace, I'm out of here. He was a big guy, But he had a couple of really memorable fights. Riddick Bowe was the other one where he got disqualified twice. Remember him getting hit over the head with a mobile phone and everything? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah. But Andrew Gallotta, he was good back in the day.
I'm telling you, it was just, it felt
What's your Rushmore? Top 4?
Oh, good question. World boxing?
Whatever. The boxing in general.
Boxing.
Who's on your Mount Rushmore? Your top 4.
There's a little bit of criteria there. As who's the best fighters or the ones who have brought the most to the sport?
Your favourites. Your 4 favourites.
That's it. Because
I've always
just the whole package, a package of everything.
I've always asked. I have had these conversations with people who don't box.
Yeah, it's a good question.
So it's interesting.
I would have Sugar Ray Robinson up there. He's known as the greatest. Yeah.
Put him right.
I'd have Muhammad Ali up there, not only just because of his talent, but also what he did for the sport. I mean, just one of those identities. Geez, the next 2 are going to be hard. I'd almost go to the point of putting someone like Mike Tyson up there for what he did for the sport. I know he's a really polarising guy, Mike Tyson. A lot of people love him, others hate him and think he was overrated, but I think he'd be up there. Geez, number 4. I mean, you could go for someone like a Henry Armstrong for what they did, but not really a household name. Maybe someone like a Sugar Ray Leonard, maybe? Yeah. A Sugar Ray Leonard for what he did. I don't know. It's a really tough one. Roberto Duran's probably another one.
Yeah.
So out of those 2.
It's also...
Is there 4, isn't
what you've seen, is it overall like then you go to like someone like Rocky Marciano, they reckon pound for pound he could have been one of the best.
But see, I always get in arguments with other boxing fans about Rocky Marciano. And the reason I get in arguments is because it's all, he was 49-0 and he did this. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't go by records, what's written on a bit of paper. He's 49-0, but his 49 opponents left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
His biggest wins were Joe Louis, Juicy Joe Walcott and Ezard Charles, who are all pushing 40. So they were past their best days. That wasn't his fault, by the way, because there's no one else around at the time.
Fight,
yeah. But the 49-0 number, I don't rate at all, because someone like a Muhammad Ali who lost 4 or 5 times is a much better fighter than Marciano. Joe Louis, much better. Even the likes of Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Joe Fraser.
George Foreman's another one.
Yeah, all those types of guys I would pick any day of the week. And I think someone like a Mike Tyson would have knocked Rocky Marciano out in about 30 seconds. You know, just the size difference.
Yeah.
I mean, Marciano was pretty much a light heavyweight in today's day and age. So yeah,
and he could take a punch. Like
look, through his time, he was great.
Yeah.
But as I said, I never go by what's written on a bit of paper as far as a record goes, because in that record you got to have who they fought, like all those legacy fights.
Yeah.
You know, the type of guys they fought, the records against them, the performances against them, what it did for the sport, all these different things. And I just don't think he would have held his own against anyone in the top 10 or even 15 for me.
Yeah. What do you think of a Tyson Fury?
Yeah, he's another polarising guy, isn't he? As far as what he rates in history?
Just where do you rate him?
Great for the sport. Yeah. Great for the sport, but also probably bad in the sport in a lot of ways, because he's teased a lot. I mean, even now, I'm coming back, I'm not coming back, I'm coming back, I'm not coming back. I'll come back for 100 million, but no, I'm not going to come back at all. He plays games a lot, but what he's done for the sport, yeah, he's been good, but I wouldn't have him in my top sort of 10 or 12 of all time. I think he's a great character.
Yeah, I love his character. I think
and he's a great guy and all the rest of it, but I just don't think he's...
Is he a good fighter?
A good fighter, not a great fighter.
Yeah, I was thinking because he's big. So
his fight against
Wilder, 3 fights.
The first one where he was knocked out and then he just
well, he looked like he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone.
That's
and he just Undertaker, he just sat up like
and Wilder's on the ropes, sort of all over.
And I reckon the adrenaline kind of drained out of him.
Yeah. Well, because the referee sort of looked over him. And Tyson Fury looked like he was dead. Yeah. He just sort of staring straight ahead.
He just sat up like Undertaker. And
a quick story about that too. I went to the International Hall of Fame induction 3 years ago over in New York, Canastota, New York. And that referee was interviewed on stage about that fight because he should have stopped it.
Yeah.
Normally, I've seen a lot of fights get stopped earlier than that. He said, well, I had a lot of faith in Tyson because of his previous fights. And he said, I thought I would give him the benefit of the doubt. And he said, I gave him one more second than what I probably should have. And in that second, Tyson Fury has suddenly come to life, got up, and it was a draw, I think.
It was a draw, yeah. That was one of the wildest things I've seen.
I think even in the next 2 fights, he got dropped a few times too.
I think the next fight is when Wilder came out with that heavy
blamed
the outfit for his walkout.
Right. It's like, I think he blamed his trainer for drugging him or something as well.
Yeah.
You know, as a fighter, when you've knocked someone out, haven't you?
Yeah.
The last thing you want to see him is get back up, wouldn't you? Like I'm thinking, like you knock him out and you're going, right, don't get up. Like the last thing you want is for him to get up again. You know,
especially that time of the fight.
Yeah. Well, what goes on in your head when you've knocked out an opponent? What's your thought process from knocking him out and being in fight mode to then the ring going, the bell going off, and he's still knocked out? What's your thought process during fight and then post fight?
Yeah, I've never been in a situation where they've been knocked out for an extended time, but I must admit, when you're in there and you do knock them down, the last thing that goes through your head is, are they okay? Yeah, it's like, well, and like you said, maybe don't get up, but it's more so you're ready to go again, but you sort of know if you've hit him on the sweet spot, if that makes sense. It's like if you kick a goal, you've kicked it and it's going right through the middle, and they've got their hands up before it's even hit the goals. That's like in boxing where you've knocked someone out. If you've hit them flush, and if it's all over. In the amateurs, you don't really get a lot of knockouts anyway. You get a lot of stoppages, but not a lot of knockouts, clean knockouts. But it's the last thing that sort of goes through your mind is if they're okay. It's just pretty much the adrenaline's flowing and you're prepared that if they get up, I'm ready to go again. And if they don't, well, the fight's over. Well, every fight is different, I suppose.
That's why I was curious to know if you had seriously knocked someone out, because I reckon your thought process will probably change once that bell goes. Is he okay? Maybe a couple minutes later, but thankfully, it hasn't been.
Yeah, no, thankfully that's never happened. And as I said, I've never really seen in the amateurs someone get knocked out that bad where the doctors are in the ring and all that sort of stuff. So,
because you see some brutal knockouts, you watch some highlights and shit, man.
Boxing's nowhere near as bad as what, say, MMA and that. You see these guys get hit with knees and back spinning back fists and all this sort of stuff. That's just brutal.
Yeah.
At least with boxing, it's just with the hands, I suppose.
Just with the hands. If you get someone.
man, from an Aussie, thank you for your work and your hard work and getting that medal and
100%.
You know, like
I think it's a great.
I think it's an amazing feat. Like
if you're representing Australia in anything, it's unbelievable. Man.
Yeah, no. Look, as I said, like it's hard to explain to somebody to you got the Aussie gear on, and to walk out at like an opening ceremony and. To have the Aussie tracksuit on, walking around and getting on a podium and all that sort of stuff. It's really, it's hard to explain to the average person, but it's...
What a feeling.
Can't you imagine?
Because like, bro,
can't imagine.
But I think like, imagine playing for Carlton, right?
Yeah.
Imagine playing for Carlton.
Yeah.
Now imagine that times fucking 10,000. Like, it's your country.
Yeah.
You know?
And I still remember, even as I said before, going at the Olympics and Commonwealth Games, actually, to walk out into the crowd and see the whole Aussie contingent. They're all waving the flags, they're all yelling out to you, and it's amazing.
I suppose then you got that feeling where when you're seeing the waving the flags now, you're representing Australia. You've got this big obligation, and
you obviously got to take it very seriously. I mean, it's the best thing, obviously, that I've ever done to represent Australia. And I still remember getting the first Aussie tracksuit. It was just I think it was a tournament in Western Samoa, of all places, the Oceania Games. And I still remember getting my Australian tracksuit. And I was like, well, there's mission accomplished there. That's number one.
100%.
And to get up on the dais and get presented a gold medal and they play the anthem for you, I mean, that's just crazy. So
yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is
We've got a beautiful anthem too.
Yeah.
I love our national anthem.
Yeah, I do too.
I love it. And we don't hear it enough.
No.
We get too many welcome to countries and not enough national anthems.
That's true.
Yeah, that fucking incredible. Like that's I could listen to you talk about your career.
I love it. I love, first of all, like representing Australia, but also the boxing fascinates me. You know what I mean? Like, what a sport. You're going out there, you're fighting someone. This goes back to gladiator days. You know what I mean? You think about it.
And the funny thing is too, though, is after the fight, it's all happy days. There's hugs and high fives all around with your opponent, and I think you get that respect with each other that when you've locked horns with somebody, you've got to give them respect and vice versa. You very rarely see two fighters that after the bell don't give each other anything, and it's hard to
There's
explain.
No hatred towards anyone.
No, I mean I've had a couple of guys where I don't really want to give too much to, but I always shake their hand. In the pros these days, again, it's changed because there's all these bloody ego and shit involved these days. You see it at the weigh-ins and all this sort of stuff, or these face-offs and that they do, and that sort of sometimes translates into the ring. But you do sort of get a bond with the person you're in with. And I saw the guy that I had my first ever fight with all those years ago. I saw him at the fights about 5 years ago, and both in our 40s, and it was amazing. And even to this day, give each other a hug, and great to, all those years ago as kids. 10 or 11-year-old kids, so
that's amazing.
You do have you do get a bond, it's great, and not just with the opponents, but I sort of keep in contact with a lot of the teammates from all those days. A lot of them are still involved in the sport, and I still love being involved in the sport now and whatever we do, and it's just one of those sports that sort of drags you in.
Well into the sport, and you go overseas a lot.
I get over there probably 3 times a year, to the fights over there.
Have you ever done coaching?
Yeah, I've sort of done pretty much everything, I suppose, when it comes to boxing, coaching, managing, promoting, all that, YouTubing now, do all that, as you know.
YouTuber now.
I'll probably get more enjoyment out of that.
So what's your YouTube?
It's Boxing Deep Dive.
Okay.
Yeah, so
what do you do?
So I take my dog for a walk every morning.
So you got to watch that every morning.
Yeah, I do that every day. So if you're a boxing fan, you want to keep up to date. It's called the channel is Boxing Deep Dive. And I do a show every morning. It's about a 20 to 25 minute episode, and I'll take my dog for a walk, and I just talk about what's going on in the boxing world at the time. In the last sort of 24 hours, I sort of talk about what's going on. Yeah. In the off season, I'll just invent things to talk about because obviously there's no fights. And then over Monday night, I do a live show where I just have everyone sort of send in questions and comments and that sort of stuff, and we go for about 2 hours.
Sick.
And it's
been good.
Yeah, so. And I used to do a few other bits and pieces. Occasionally I'll do different sort of episodes on different topics, but I've sort of struggled for time. But I've had, guys like Jeff Fennick on, Anthony Mundine on, they all come on and talk about the different fights and all that sort of stuff, and I enjoy that.
100%.
And
100%. Legends of the sport, aren't they?
Well, one of the best episodes we did.
That's your-
That's my dog. That's Neil.
Yeah. Every morning I watch the dog.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
Sometimes,
Boxing Deep
If you're a
Dive.
boxing fan,
Boxing Deep Dive, make sure you subscribe, watch that. And sometimes Neil doesn't want to go for a walk.
He doesn't. No, if it's a little bit wet outside, I'm on my own. But I was just going to say, one of the best episodes I ever did was we had Jeff Fennick on for the it was called Classic Fights. So we go to a fight and revisit and make it, just discuss what was so good about it. And we did Jeff's fight with Zuma Nelson, the first fight in Vegas that was a draw. And it was so good to have him on the show talking about, from his perspective. It's okay for us to sort of talk about it. It's a bit like with the footy here.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 95 grand final and having Diesel Williams or someone sitting there. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
And Jeff's unbelievable. Every time I've asked him to come on, he's always done it with no hesitation. And I just love sort of being involved with it, whether it be on YouTube or going to the fights or whatever it might be. So yeah, it's good to be involved.
No, it's really good. I enjoy your shows. I definitely watch them. I watch your shows every morning.
Do you?
Yeah. I watch the dog walking every morning. Yeah, I love it.
He's a good little fella. And look, it's a really basic concept, but
it is.
I just thought, well, I take him for a walk every day, and I thought, well, what do I do to keep myself occupied? So I normally I was putting in the headphones and listening to other shows and podcasts and stuff. Yeah. I thought, while I'm walking, I'm sort of thinking about what's sort of been going on, because I'm always on the websites and all that sort of stuff, what's going on in boxing. I thought,
about it.
Just talk about what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, and I did it, and we probably have, 300 or 400 sort of views a day. I mean, it's all good.
Hey, man, that's great. That's great, That's
great. As I said, man, I say it with this show and the other shows, man. You said it with your show. If we get 20 people watching, I'll be fucking wrapped.
That's when we started, I said, if we get 20 people watching.
Well, it's not really about the viewers either at the start either. It's about doing what you love to do. Exactly. And I've seen your show where you get all your boys on there and you're talking about it, and having a bit of fun, and I'm sure you're not even watching the counter, you're just talking football with your mates.
That's what you've got to do. You got to just enjoy talking, have a thing, and then if some people enjoy it, they watch it, good on them, you know what I mean? And if you're enjoying it, it transfers over.
Well, I sort of started the way you did with, remember the lack of microphones and everything. I started that with the talking boxing show. It was me on a Monday night. I had a shitty old camera. It was all grainy and everything else. I had no microphone. It was just me on there, and I talked to about 5 people for about 2 hours, and I just go through all the fights and this and the rankings and all that sort of stuff, and it's just slowly sort of gathered momentum where we'll probably have about 500 or 600 people sort of watch that. But again, I just love to do it, so it's not really about the views.
It's great, and as I said, man, a lot of people love the boxing. You know, we've got to get it out. I love it. I love it. It's that old combat sport, 2 blokes getting in there. There's nothing more, like, how do you say, nothing more pure than 2 men just getting in there and just juking it out,
I think I like it more than MMA because...
I do too.
It's a bit more patient. Right, it's a bit more patient.
A bit like cricket.
I was just going to say, it's like cricket. It's like test cricket.
That's exactly what it is.
Where the other one's a bit more like the 2020 game, Like,
but you're right, though. You can sit there and you can watch, a couple rounds, and player A is, he's in control, and then all of a sudden one body punch, you just feel the shift. You feel the shift.
It's a good way to look at it. I mean, and boxing's the same. When you look at sort of boxing, the purists will look at it and look at the technique they use and the tactics they're using, where I think that's why the UFC crew like the UFC, because there's as far as I know, there's no real tactics. It's just like get out there and punch on. That's
so many different
it's almost like the big bash of combat sports, and boxing's like the test cricket. That's why I see it. And
100%.
And I really like to watch guys like Mayweather and those types of guys fight because of the way how technical they are and everything, where the average casual sort of fan would go, this is boring, where I look at it and go, oh, look at this guy with his skills,
That is cricket. People go, why don't you watch again? You don't get it.
Only Carlton.
Only Carlton.
Thanks for the donation. Make sure you're following Only Carlton across all
We haven't talked about the Blues tonight, have we?
We will. Thoughts on Power Slap? Have you seen the Power Slap?
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Hate it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It is.
And dangerous thing I've ever seen.
I think it's very dangerous, To
sit there unprotected.
Slapping someone in the like, what is... Like, it's just ridiculous.
How do they decide who goes first? Because if you go first, you've obviously got a massive advantage.
There must be... I don't got no idea.
Is it a coin toss? Is it...
I don't know. But imagine... I just keep thinking, imagine just sitting there, just just waiting for someone to whack you across the face. I just couldn't do it.
They get them, man.
I don't like it. Get them, bro. Like, you see the neck snap back.
Yeah, I think it's so dangerous. I can't believe they've actually sanctioned that. At least with all the other sports, you can defend yourself. In that, you can't defend yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
I think it's ridiculous, but...
No, you can't. No, that's ridiculous.
Well, let's talk about Carlton then.
All right,
What's your Carlton story? How'd you get into them?
Well, I started following Carlton, I reckon it was the late 70s, when they were winning premierships.
So you saw the good times.
Yeah, I remember watching them on TV and the grand final. I didn't really watch them during the year. I was only like 5 or 6, I suppose. The '79 grand final. I remember watching it on the TV, and I actually liked them too because my local football club was Marong in the Lynden Valley League it is now, and they were Carlton colours back in the day. So I used to go. My grandfather was a curator at the ground, so I used to go there every week or every second week and watch the footy. And they were Carlton colours, the Panthers they were called. So when Carlton was sort of winning premierships as well, it was like, well, that's obviously the team to barrack for. And was 81, 82 as well.
Yeah,
and just loved the Dominator, and Bazasto was my favourite. Actually, I'll take that back. Mark McClure was my favourite.
Was he?
I had his number on my back. And
number 36.
Yeah. And quick story about Mark McClure as well. I know I'm throwing a few stories in there. But
I love it.
Can listen to you talk
before the Olympics, I actually was a guest to Carlton at one of their functions. I can't even remember how it came about. And they played Collingwood at the G. And they invited me down for a luncheon before I went. And I sat next to Mark McClure. And I think Tina Arena was on the table as well. I got chatting to her. And she was fascinated about the boxing, by the way. Her boyfriend or husband at the time couldn't give a shit. But he was just busy eating. But she was really interested in boxing for real. Wow. Just not being polite. She was actually... And she knew about boxing as well. But Mark McClure sat next to me. And when we went over to the ground, I ended up sitting next to him at the footy as well. And at half time, he said, so you want to go down the rooms? Of course, as a Carlton tragic, to get asked to go, I know it's probably commonplace these days for people to go down the rooms, but back then it was, we just won the premiership as well in 95. And he said, come on, we'll go down the rooms. And he's walking, he takes these massive, big, long steps because he's a massive guy. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to keep up. I've almost got to jog up trying to... And he just gives everyone the salute as he goes past all these security and officials, and they just let him go through. We went into the ground. I still remember it being in the rooms at half time. And
when was this?
It was at the G.
When, but
96.
96.
Yeah.
Oh, far out.
And at half time, we were 5 goals down against Collingwood, and coming off the 95 premiership. And he said to me, "I'd advise you don't even make squeak, just don't make any noise whatsoever because Parko's going to be pissed." And Parkin just walked in, you could see his fuming. The players sort of come in, they didn't make eye contact, and I just remember the size of him. He talked about before about being superheroes. That's what it was like to me. To see Kernahan and all that walk in, and Silvani, these massive guys, and that was the first time I'd ever been close to the footy players, and I was just on cloud 9. And Mark McClure introduced me to all the officials and all that sort of stuff. Just a great guy he was. But then afterwards he said, "All right, mate, I'll catch you later." And he just sort of left me there. But no, really good guy. He was great.
A few times.
He was awesome. But
he shook my hand about 10 years ago and almost broke it.
Did he? Yeah, he's a big guy.
Just got these mitts.
Yeah, he's a big guy. But to keep going with that story, I obviously just fell in love with the Blues and they were winning premierships, and I was just obsessed with the boys and always went to watch them play, and especially in the early 90s when they were doing pretty well. Yeah. Just always go down. I used to go down by myself half the time. I'd catch the train down from Bendigo and go and watch them. So it was
commitment. I do anything I can. From Bendigo is a commitment. Anything to watch the Blues.
Used to get the train down, but just always been a blue bagger, and like everyone out there, I've sort of ridden the highs and lows over the last few years.
You still keep up?
Every week,
How are you feeling about where we're at and the changes and where we're headed?
Well, I don't know about what the feeling is from the people that watch this show, but I'm actually really excited and buoyant about where we're at. No, I really am. Yeah, I just think
it's depressed.
No, look, the way I sort of look at it, I think one thing.
I never said that.
I think as soon as Curto made sort of his feelings known about going, I reckon it's great that they just lopped their head off and let him go.
100%.
Just let him go. I reckon it's the best thing they did. And Silvani, well, everyone's going to have mixed feelings about him.
Which
that's a blessing now.
Well, we can't talk about that.
That's a blessing now.
I was wrapped when he went as well. I thought, like father, like son, see you later. That's the way I looked at it. And I love Silvani Stephen Solani as a kid. And De Koning, well, as much as we don't like it, you can't really blame him for going. So doesn't mean I still won't boo him at the footy, but
100%.
Yeah, I just reckon rather than being so top heavy with those top sort of 6 or 7 players we've got, I just think we've got such an even spread now, and I reckon we'll be. Well, I'm not going to say we're going to win the premiership, but I wouldn't be surprised we're around 6 to 8
next year.
Yep. I think we'll surprise a lot of people with how much better we are.
I hope so.
Well, I just reckon across the board we're just a hell of a lot more even and balanced.
We are, and just to say that what Andy was saying about me is I'm not depressed. What I'm saying is I agree with you. I think we've done the right thing, and I think we're on the right track.
Yep.
I just don't think next year it's the year. I think it's going to be a bit of a holding pattern for us, and I hope I'm wrong. But I just think with the changes and with Voss being so under pressure, what does he do? I don't think it's going to be a great year, but I think moving forward, it's going to be a good year. Like next year, you got 8 or 9 players. Well, all of a sudden we've got to change a game plan. Right? It can't be the same game plan. So we're going to have this coach who's under pressure because he's got 1 year. They've given him 1 year. You can say they've said to him, you got 1 year. You got 9 new players who've got to learn a game plan, plus the other players, and we're going to put it all together over an off season and come out flying. I don't think so, but I hope I'm wrong. You know?
No, you're probably right. I mean, look, as far as maybe wins and losses, maybe we won't be much better than what we were this year. But what I'm looking at is that you're right, over the next sort of 2 or 3 years, when we sort of add to it and it gets more cohesion, I reckon we'll be okay. Because
I agree.
I think what I'm probably saying is I think we'll be more consistent week to week. Like the last few years it's been up and down, and even those years where we were doing okay, we had half the year was great, half the year was shit. The following year was the opposite. The first half of the year was good, the last half of it was shit. So it was just up and down. So I just reckon what we'll find is we might not win as many games, more games than this year, but I reckon you'll know what you're going to get every week with Carlton. Whereas this year, the last couple of years, it's been, geez, if Curnow doesn't fire, or De Koning doesn't fire, or McKay doesn't fire, or Weeding doesn't fire, or Cripps, we're rat shit. I just reckon we're going to get a more consistent performance, and whether that translates to wins or not, I don't know. But I just think you'll know, we'll know what we're going to get a hell of a lot better than what we have in the last probably 3 years.
I agree. I agree. I reckon we're on the right track.
And how good is it going to be not with the forward line to not just be kicking it up in the air, hoping Curnow makes it?
I reckon
that's the big thing for me.
It's going to force us to play this different way. And I'll always go back to Richmond in 2017. They lost a couple of key players, like forwards, right? And they went to that small. They were forced into this different game, and look what happened to them. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to us, but I think we're going to be forced into playing a different sort of game. What do you think about Voss?
Well, I suppose the question's got to be asked with Voss is that if it is his like they've given him 1 year, would he have wanted to trade Curnow? He wouldn't have thought so, but he would have thought he would have wanted to hold on to him as much as he could. But I don't know, maybe there's this behind the scenes sort of handshake by Graham Wright to say, hey, look, we'll give you 2 years. Who knows? I mean,
that's what I think.
You're big on that.
I think with all the changes they've made around him,
they've got to give him a little bit of flexibility.
You can't, unless it's fucking unsalvageable. Unless
it's completely
it was a disaster.
Disaster. Fair enough. He's got to go.
But if we win 10 games and we're in a lot of
you would give him say 10 games. Let's say
if we win 10. Look, it depends on. For me, it depends on how we win and how we lose. If that makes sense.
100%.
Because the way we've played in the last 3 years, even in those successful years, 23 and 24. I would have still thought, unless we change the game plan and get a more consistent performance, then he needs to go. But I want to give him an opportunity. Now, obviously, I'm not the biggest Michael Voss fan. As a player, I loved him, and he's a great guy. All the rest of it. But as a coach, I never wanted Voss as coach. I think we let one get away with Adam Kingsley, if I'm being honest. I think he would have been a really good coach.
He was the one. Everyone says
and he wanted it. And even, I know it'll be not a popular opinion, but even I thought Ross Lyon at the time might have been okay. I know.
I was in for Ross Lyon. I don't know if now I'm thinking the same.
Not now. But I was all Ross Lyon.
At the time, I was thinking when there was a time, there was him, there was like Ross Lyon. I was kind of thinking, I'd be happy with Ross Lyon. But
I was pretty pissed when we didn't get him. But I mean, in hindsight, I'm actually glad we didn't.
I'm glad too.
But Adam Kingsley, I reckon. But I just think with Voss, look, I don't think he'll last the distance, and I don't think he'll take us to a premiership. But I think rather than just, as I say, throw the baby out with the bathwater, they've made the changes. Hopefully they've cut out a bit of the cancer of the club in a few of the players and give him a chance to actually do something, because there's been so much upheaval at Carlton with board members and the assistant coaches and that sort of stuff.
Stability.
A little bit of stability.
We need it. We need the club to be stable. We need the players to be stable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the start of the year, I think Paul said it that at the start of the year, he said what this coach needs to do, he needs to get these players, their egos set, right? And he's got to be able to control and get, like an even kind of... And we didn't get that. No. We had we had TDK wanting to lead. Saucy's out there having interviews in the middle of the season, right? You got Curnow doesn't want to play anymore, decides to go. I mean, that's not stability, you know what I mean?
And you could tell during the year, Curnow sucked most of the year.
He did.
Silvani was out for most. I don't know. I'd like to know at what point he turned into his dad. That's what I would like to know. Because at the end of the year, it's like St Kilda supporters are going, oh, geez, how good are we? We've got Jack Silvani. And Carlton supporters are going, how could we let him go? Yeah. I mean, plays an average of, 10 or 12 games a year. He plays 3 or 4 good games, and all of a sudden, he's All-Australian. I just don't get it.
And they're giving him $900,000 a year. Well done.
Exactly.
Hey, good on him for getting $900K, but... He's not a fucking $900K.
No way. After playing like half a dozen games.
650, something like that.
I think you're being generous.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I just think, like you said it yourself, he plays, 10, 11 games a year, 12 games at the most.
Yeah.
That's not
And they move him to the back line, he plays 3 or 4 good games, and all of a sudden, how good is this guy? And then he's out injured for the rest of the year.
Playing in a back line that gets a lot of ball.
Yeah.
So, it's not like he was playing in a team that was defensively... great either. We were getting a lot of ball.
Yeah. And DeConing did check out as well, probably not to the extent of the others, but, he...
check out, at least he played for the rest of the year. I wouldn't have played him. I wouldn't have played him if I thought if they knew that he was leaving.
They must have known.
They had to.
They had to have known.
Why are you bringing him to 100 games?
Maybe his kid's going to be good.
I don't give a shit. They're going to change that anyway. We're not even going to have father sons.
So that's the other thing too. Getting back to Carlton next year, Jagger Smith. I know we're not expecting massive things, but have him in the team. Harry Dean down there besides Jacob Wiedering. Yeah. They're the things that give me. And I am so rapt. We got Ben Ainsworth. I think I know he's not a superstar, but I just think he's a great fit for Carlton.
Yeah, I think it's good. And
Florent a little bit, Hayward I suppose.
We're winning a flag next year, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sucked in, boys.
But trust me, by the start of the year, I'll be sucked in. You know what I mean?
And then by 10:30 on that Thursday.
Well, are you going to the Sydney game?
I don't know.
We're going.
Oh, yeah?
Did you get your tickets?
Yeah, got the tickets,
It's opening round, isn't it? Or no, is it opening round?
Yeah, 0 round, whatever,
Yeah, but I think if Carlton are consistent through the year, even if they don't win or lose a lot, as long as they put in the effort each week, because the big thing about not if you lose, it's how you lose. And I think the frustration with the Carlton supporters in the last few years is when we lose, it's just so predictable.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you go out there and you know in the first 5 minutes where they're going to lose, and they just throw in the towel, and you just know they're not going to come back. I want to see that even at half time, if they're 6 goals down, that we can come back, because this is a good balanced team.
Hopefully we can get some good leaders on the ground. We got Cripper. I don't know. I don't think he's a great leader. I think he's a good, he leads by example, but I don't know.
Do you think they should replace him?
Yeah.
I think one more year.
I think they would have replaced him if Sam Walsh signed. I think if Sam Walsh signed already, they would replace him.
I would probably. I know he's a backman, but I reckon Wiedering's probably earned it. But I understand Walsh. I know it sounds silly, but I can't see Walsh being captain because he's the little rover, and he's got all these big towering guys. You know what I mean? It's just more of a status type of thing. Yeah. I don't know. It's just me.
What about Selwood from?
Yeah, and Cochin and those type. I get that, but I just imagine Walsh looking up at Wiedering
and Carlton's in the comments. Only Carlton's in the comments. Guess who he wants to be captain?
Is that Walsh, is it?
No, he loves Motlop.
Oh, Motlop, yeah. You reckon he'll get a game this year?
Only Carlton just had a heart attack there. He loves Motlop. No. I think he'll be all right. No, I think we'll be all right.
Well, what's the forward line going to look like? If Elijah Hollins gets the last spot?
I think he will.
And we've got Williams and Hayward and...
I said this last week on this show. Mate, Elijah Hollands is so important to our team.
I agree.
He is so important.
I can't see there's even a contest between him and Will White apart from the off-field stuff.
That's the thing.
If he's got himself 90% right, they should give him an opportunity. He's such a good player.
He was. Well, he is, and he was a good player, and unfortunately he's off field. I can't get over that, but I'm happy to give him another chance.
I think he's worth the risk over Will White. Yeah. If he's done all the right things during training, which it looks like he's done already, if he can stay on the straight and narrow and do everything they've asked him to do, it's just one list spot.
No, and I agree, and I think what they did by delisting him or get rid of him and then
good call.
Give him another chance. I think it's a good call because people are going, oh, but you're paying him extra money. They're only going to pay him a minimum wage.
Yep.
Right? So I think it's the kick in the arse that he needs. And you're right, if he comes good, he's an important player.
He's the most important.
Well, it's no contest between him and Will White if he's switched on. It's no contest.
The bloke's a freak.
Yeah.
Let's
so
hope,
he'll
man.
get picked up. There's 100%.
He's just that real sort of link player between the wing and the full forward. It's just a great half forward type of player.
He's class.
Yeah, he's class. He's your Mercedes-Benz. He's your Mercedes-Benz that's not afraid to go off-roading.
He was the Martin. When we had Martin, like Martin was class for us. He was an important player for us, but he kept getting injured.
Yeah.
This bloke, same thing. He's classy, he's important, but he's off-field. But hopefully... I'm all for giving people chances.
He looks very healthy.
But he did last year too.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. At the start of the year.
Have a look at him. He looks healthy.
All right. I hope so. I hope so for his own sake.
Yeah. Absolutely for his own sake.
For his own sake.
It'll be an absolute wasted career if he doesn't get picked up. And he, when he hits 35, 40 years old, 100%. He's going to look back and think, what did I do?
Yeah. Well, a lot of, like people like that are caught up in something and they were, they're going to look back when they're 30, 40, 50 years old and they're going to go, what a waste.
Well, look at Jamara,
He's another one,
But he's got a chance. He's got another chance. I don't know how he's going to go in the Gold Coast up there, but...
It's not the place to go if you've got a few issues, is there, with Jamara? But they're going to be good, aren't they, the Gold Coast?
If he gets right, they're looking at him like...
And Petrarca as
Jesus,
well.
if he's right, if we can get Jamara... Because he's formed before everything happened off field.
And they got him for nothing.
They got him for nothing. So it's a free hit.
But it's a risk.
It's a risk.
Yeah.
But it's a free hit.
It's a risk worth taking. It's cost them nothing.
Exactly.
So it's not like giving up.
Gold Coast are going to be all right.
Brisbane Gold Coast Grand Final, you think? Jeez, that'll be hard to beat.
Brisbane are going to be hard to beat again, mate. They've improved their side.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing. They win the Grand Final and they improve their side.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be the case, should it? That's not what the draft was brought in for, was it? And free agency and all the rest of it.
Shouldn't be, but
people want to get there. Hey, they lost a couple of players. They did lose
Archie
a couple.
And
Starcevic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look who they gained. They gained a couple of good players.
They gained Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
Very injury
and
prone.
Draper.
And Draper. Very injury prone. So, did they get that much better?
And the academy players or whatever it was.
That's the killer.
Yeah.
Their
but they'll
future's
get
looking
better.
good.
They're still a great side. Yeah.
But you know what? You know what the thing is about Brisbane? Look at their 2 premiership years. They haven't had great seasons.
No, they don't.
They finished outside the 4. And then last year, and then they did it the hard way this year.
They did it the hard way this
year. They did 20 odd years ago. Same thing. Yeah. They never finished in the top 2 or 3 ever.
They never finished on top. No.
They just get there.
Yeah.
And then the real season starts. Yep.
And what's history about them is we've said this before, man. We were ahead of them 10 or 12 years ago. We were ahead of them.
No one wanted to play there, did they? No. When Doherty and all that left, no one wanted to play there.
They had this mass, and that was Voss. They had this mass exodus.
Voss was the cause of the exodus. Yeah.
Isn't it funny these days too? Like the Gold Coast and Greater Western Sydney, these types of clubs who players would never have looked at even just a few years ago. As now they're the in clubs to get to because people want to get out of the Melbourne bubble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like no one would have wanted to go to GWS, but now they're a destination club. And the Gold Coast, who would have thought that players like Petrarca would have wanted to go to the Gold Coast? But they're all like, no, let's get out of Melbourne.
They'll be a good side, man. They'll be hard to beat next year.
They'll
be hard.
We'll smash them.
Gold Coast?
We'll smash them.
Where do we play them? In Melbourne, don't we? Yeah, as long as we don't play them. I think it's in Melbourne. I think it's up there.
Didn't they belt us here?
Yeah, they did. Well, they beat us by about 5 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we had a big last quarter, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a good...
We came back in the last quarter.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting year next year. I'm glad the break I'm having from it, but I'm actually looking forward to...
I always miss it.
Yeah.
I always miss the...
You're lucky Collingwood didn't win.
Oh, because I was at the pub? Why?
No.
Oh, because, that's right.
He made a bet.
I swore. It wasn't even a bet with anyone. I just told myself.
Yeah.
I was that dirty of our season. I was like, if we let Collingwood win another flag this year, I won't go to a match next year.
Lucky they didn't win then.
Yeah.
So,
Because I was thinking, man, they're not going to a match.
and I did put a little disclaimer, unless we make finals. I'm done. Fuck that.
See, they're going to be interesting as well. Where do they go? I mean, they could finish as low as about 12th, if you ask me. I reckon the bottom could just fall out of that team.
They're hanging on to that top.
But they didn't really get any players in, though, did they? In years gone by, they've topped up.
Yeah, they haven't got any players, no draft picks, because they put everything into bloody the backman there. What was it? Houston.
Houston, yeah. And he didn't do anything, did he?
No, he didn't do anything. So and look, they've lost Mason Cox. So
that's a massive loss.
They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
They're no good. And they just re-signed. Apparently, they re-signed the coach.
Yeah, they did.
With a massive deal.
Really? I didn't see the details.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, they trust the process. It worked.
They do. And that's the whole thing, man.
And I think once you've... I think they're going to give some of those players one more year.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll hit the rebuild. Maybe not rebuild, maybe just a reshuffle.
No, they have to.
Yeah.
They got no choice.
I can just see another Richmond happening with them.
Yeah, they got no choice, you know what I mean? Because they're going to try to give it one more hit, and then after that, like Pendlebury, side bottom, like how long can they go? I think Pendlebury, like he had an okay year. They're keeping him so he gets the record. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
You know, side bottom did have a good.
Yeah, he did great, yeah.
So you're not going to get rid of him. But the others are kind of... They got those players that are just, they're all right, but it's their system that works.
It's just system. That's what always worries me about Collingwood, their system.
Well, the system always works against Carlton.
Yeah.
Always.
Wow.
Everyone's system works against
Carlton. It does,
Well, what have we won? Like 2 in the last 20 against
I'm
them
telling you, people, look, this might backfire on me, but I wouldn't throw the towel in on Essendon just yet.
They've got the makings of a really good side.
They just get injured.
Yeah.
If they stay fit, they can. I'm not saying they're going to win the flag.
They've got a good list.
I just think, I just think they can push that top 10.
Yeah, they can definitely push the top 10. I don't think they're that great. I mean, they've got some very good young players. But you're right, they've copped another injury again.
Like at full strength, they're a good side.
No, not Ridley.
No, it wasn't Wrigley. It was
Martin.
Martin's out. Yeah, he's out. Yeah. Well, Setterfield got another spot too, didn't he?
Because he had to. They gave him a spot because of Martin. What do you think about the captain going back?
Would have been a bit awkward, wouldn't it? I don't think it'll make any difference. One thing I think he has walked in there. I don't think he's a professional. He's such a good player. I don't think he'll skip a beat. But I get what Essendon did as far as making a stand and all the rest of it. But I think it was a stupid stand, if you ask me.
I agree.
The guy wanted to go, just let him go. He doesn't want to be there. I know they pat themselves on the back, but he's a contracted player, and we're not going to stand our ground. But what they could have done with those picks and everything else, just to recharge, like we've done, they could have recharged
100%.
themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
And by digging the heels in and keeping a player that doesn't want to be there, I don't think they'll be much better next year.
Well, that's the thing.
Unless they get a full side on them.
He's not going to be captain.
Well, if he asks for a trade next year, his value's dropped.
Yeah.
You've missed out on
straight away.
a pretty 100%. Good deal from.
Yeah, I mean, what they offered him was it 3 first rounders or something?
3 first rounders and a player.
Geez, they could have just used those picks to trade for other. I mean, so much they could have done with those picks.
Let's be serious. They're not doing anything this year or next year.
No.
So, get ready for and how old is he?
He's 30. That's what I don't get. It's like he's 24, 25.
Same
Same
as
30.
Curnow, like at the end of the day, he wanted to go. Like he's 30 years old, you know what I mean?
That's what I love with what Carlton did, because that's why I would do it. If the second a player says, I don't want to be up, what can we get for him? That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
What can we get for him? What's the best possible deal for him?
Yeah.
That's all I'd be thinking of if they don't want to be there. And it's interesting, I was at a Carlton do at the end of the season, and they had the recruiters up there talking about the Curnow trade, and they said up until I think 15 minutes before it happened, it wasn't going to happen. It was off.
Shit.
And they said to him, right, first, this is our last time. We want the extra draft pick or we're out. And that's when Sydney went and got it. But he said 15 minutes out, it wasn't going to happen.
That's crazy.
He said it was off.
Yeah,
and he said they come down and Righty entered the room and said, this is the way it's going to be. And they just did it.
I love that.
Yeah. That's the attitude we need. Don't want to be here? See you later.
100%, because we've got to be thinking about, you know, like we need to win premierships, man. Like, and if you don't want to be there...
Well, that's what you always say. We're in it to win premierships, nothing else.
Yeah.
None of these causes and all that. Hey, we're there to win premierships. Yeah. And that's what I like about Graham Wright with his attitude, is he has the same mentality.
Yeah.
I'm here to do a job. Yes, we'll do all the other stuff, but first and foremost, we're here to win football games.
Has to be. Yeah, I think that's a good move, yeah. It's going to be an interesting year.
Should we move on?
Yeah, we'll move on to the...
Fucking 11 o'clock.
Is it? Yeah. Sorry, I've been talking too much.
I could listen to you talk about anything, mate. You're great. I love it.
All right, we'll go into... first of all, have you seen my new channel?
No, you got another one.
Bada Bing History Class with Rocco.
Okay. No, I haven't seen it. Sorry, mate. Is that you there, is it?
No, well, it's supposed to be.
Is that an AI picture, is it?
Yeah,
or?
it's a younger me.
You'll see AI in a minute.
This week, so every week I do a history story.
Okay.
And do a couple of shorts. This week is, the next 2 weeks, I've called it the Mafia 2 weeks. So it's all about blood and bandits for the next 2 weeks. So to yesterday's story, which came out, wait a sec, it's about one of the great, I've gone for a couple of unknown mafia greats, you know what I mean? One was Salvatore Giuliano. He was Sicilian, started before, like he took on the mafia. He was a bandit back in Sicily, you know what I mean? And another one next week is Fra Diavolo. He's another one who's another mafia bandit. And tonight's short was about how the mafia actually started. Do you know how the mafia actually started?
No.
You got to watch the short and you'll see why it actually started. It's quite fascinating. But we'll put in what yesterday's story was about. If you just go into mute for a sec and let's have a look at this. Came World War II. Food, it was scarce. The black market was booming and Giuliano got caught smuggling wheat. Not heroin, wheat! And when the police came to arrest him, bada boom, he shoots one of them. And just like that, he went from neighbourhood kid to full-blown outlaw. From there, he disappears into the mountains like it was a scene straight out of The Godfather. But he didn't go alone. He built a crew. Not a couple of goons. I'm talking 50, 60 armed men. They called themselves the Giuliano Band. And they weren't just hiding. They were running the whole damn countryside. Forget everything you know about Sicily. This guy, he didn't need gold chains like Mr. T or a fancy suit like John Gotti. He was too busy running his own show.
Unmute your mic.
But you got it off?
Yeah.
Oh, they can hear it. Yeah, so that's the thumbnail. So make sure you catch that. Where is the intro? Oh, the next one. I can't see shit. So, no. Here we go.
Interesting.
Yes. So that's the story of us.
That's great. I'll check that out.
Salvatore Giuliano. Yeah, so it's the whole mafia 2 weeks. So I've got a few shorts coming out. I've got how the mafia started. I've got the actual guy on Thursday. The next short comes out, which is the actual guy who actually started organised crime in Sicily in the 1800s, how he started.
And is that the beginning of the mafia?
He isn't. He's just one of the stories of the thing. But the beginning of the mafia is interesting. And just quickly, like, the mafia didn't start just through evil guys. The mafia started through necessity.
Is it like a rebellion against...
There wasn't a rebellion. There was, like, in Sicily in the 1800s and all that, like, the cops and the government were all corrupt and they weren't helping. So the locals had to turn to someone. So they didn't turn to evil men. They turned to strong men who could then protect them, you know. Yeah. And then once the strong men started getting power, Well, they never turned back, and then it became organised.
One thing about power, isn't it? When people got it, they don't give it up.
Well, that's the whole thing, And the whole thing is that it started because through necessity. It was just locals who people were coming and stealing their crops. And on a side note, like my dad was born in 27, in Sicily, in the middle of that. And I in the short tonight, I talk about how men used to work for like really rich people. They used to work their farms and look after their farms, you know what I mean? That's what my dad used to do. He used to look after farms and look after these people and be involved with the underworld, you know what I mean? They used to do that, and that was a way of life. And if you were in trouble, you couldn't go to the police, so you'd go to the local guy and he'd take care of things. And then and then it was all about respect and a little bit of money and that, and then bang, 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 and then the next thing you got Gotti.
Was it Teflon or something?
But it's an interesting thing, you know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that story there about Salvatore Giuliano, that's a famous like.
Is there like a TV show about how like the mafia began? Is there like a
I'm sure there is.
Because what a story that would be.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. But that's why you come to Bada Bing history.
That's right. Not about a TV show.
Yeah, the next 2 weeks I will explain everything about how it all started, how we moved, how they moved to America, and how it all built and
took that system to America.
Well, that's what happened. You know what I mean? So, and on Thursday you'll see the short about the guy who actually took it to America. And how
what's it called over there? Something Castro or something?
Well, the Casa Nostra is
Nostra, or whatever.
The Casa Nostra is like our house. So it's an old like how do you say it? It's like an old thing they lived by. You know what I mean? Our house. You know what I mean? And like you don't speak, and that's why the mafia and organised crime last for so long, because they never spoke. See, now it's all free
Now
shit.
it's everywhere, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even when you watch The Godfather, what happens is they don't speak. We don't get involved in drugs. We don't speak.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep everything. But as soon as everyone started speaking, then the whole thing fell apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you keep everything in-house and you don't talk, no one can touch you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't ever even mention it. You're not even supposed to mention it. Yeah.
It's really interesting, but
well, them say it doesn't exist, don't they? Even though obviously everyone knows it does, but
exist, and no one talks. Like no one talks, and the locals don't talk. No one says anything. Did you see anything? No, I didn't see nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't see. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, but he got shot right in front of you. Oh, I didn't see that.
looking at the
I was turned around, So that's it. So everyone get onto that. To get onto that, make sure you get on, subscribe, join, watch. There's a weekly show every week. Yeah. All right, let's get into the next one. The next one is this one here.
let's see. Oh yeah.
So what we do here is we Andy talks about his album of the week.
oh, nice, good album
week,
too.
I thought I would bring in one of our favourites.
Jesus Christ.
We've spoken about Pink Floyd so many times, and I thought, you know what, I'll bring in. It's not my favourite of theirs. Wish You Were Here is my favourite, but Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, they're very close together.
I mean, it's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Right? What an album, and I just thought, you know what, it's the last episode of the year. Let's just take it back to where it started.
And they've got the vinyl too, which is even better.
Of course.
Andy just does vinyl.
Oh, it's only vinyl.
He's a big vinyl freak, so he's got.
So they're making a big resurgence, aren't they? There's a lot of stores around that sell vinyl.
Yeah, heaps. Yeah. So Pink Floyd actually released the 50-year anniversary of Wish You Were Here the other day. Yeah,
they did too.
50 years.
50 years.
Crazy, yeah.
And you know what? There's a demo version of Welcome to the Machine.
Oh, nice.
And it is dark. It sounds morbid, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Do you like Pink Floyd?
Some of their songs, they're a bit. I mean, I think they're one of those bands that you either like them or you don't. I suppose.
Yeah.
I reckon they're okay. I like Comfortably Numb.
Yeah.
Obviously The Wall.
The Wall.
That's sort of growing up on that, but it's
they're very moody.
Yeah, of course.
I remember my mum used to always
moody.
play it. Yeah, she used to always play it, so I got to listen to it. But I'm sort of more like a more upbeat rock type of band.
No, so do we, but I mean...
But as far as the quality of the album goes, that's one of the classics.
50 years, man.
Yeah.
What's your favourite song on there?
Time.
Yes.
Time for me.
Time.
Ticking away.
What's some of the other songs on there? See if I recognise it. Sorry.
Have a look. So they've got
Great Gig in the Sky.
Gig in the Skies on this.
Oh, yep.
Money. Well, that's it.
Brain Damage.
Okay, yeah.
Breathe.
I think Money would be the one you'd probably know.
Yeah.
And Time to me, it means like it just when you listen to the words of Time, it just hits you.
Don't you just love that era though of music?
Ah, it's fantastic.
It's good to see someone your age that actually loves Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Massive Pink Floyd fan. It's just, this is one of those albums where it's not even just this album. You could just chuck on a Pink Floyd playlist and they can just transport you, you know, without a drug, you know.
100%.
Like, and you know, you hear so many people mention, you know, listen to Pink Floyd, smoke this, do this, do that. But you don't need to.
No, you don't need to. But I do understand because they were in that. And like even when I was young, I mean, I used to smoke joints and listen to Pink Floyd. I mean, that's how I grew up with it. But you don't need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, man, I think I told you, the first time I ever listened to Pink Floyd, I was stoned.
Yeah, of course.
And it just...
blows your mind.
Yeah, I listened to Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And I just remember thinking, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life.
Was that 70s or 80s, that one?
This was
50, must have been 70s, 50 years old.
This is 70s, yeah. So, you know about the Wizard of Oz thing as well? So, so if you sync this up...
No, it's not that.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. Absolutely.
If you sync it to Wizard of Oz?
No, it's to the wall.
That's this. Dark Side of the Moon.
It's to the wall.
It's Dark Side of the Moon.
It's the wall.
It's Dark Side of the Moon.
Sync it to the wall.
So you play it during the movie, do you?
Yeah, and it's exactly the same. It's the wall, bro.
Pretty sure it's Dark Side of the Moon.
No, it's not. It doesn't even go long enough. It only goes for 43 minutes.
So it's the same link to the movie, is it?
Yeah, practically. If you link it up, as you're watching the wall, it kind of like all links in.
That's great. Yeah, I saw Wizard of Oz for the first time about 3 weeks ago on the plane. Yeah. I obviously know about Wizard of Oz, but no, it is it?
I've always thought it was the wall.
It's Dark Side of the Moon, bro. Unless they do it to the wall as well.
I reckon you could do it to both.
But like, all I did was typed in Wizard of Oz, Pink Floyd, and they're all Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
But you know what's funny? You're watching it, of course it's all going to link, you know, kind of like because of the way Pink Floyd does its music,
It's just, I remember like, so there's...
I thought it was the wall. I've done it with the wall.
Yeah, you've done it with the wrong album.
You've done it.
So someone's actually
must have been stoned.
Someone synced it up on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube.
Oh, so you can do it on YouTube.
The Good Days videos.
Yeah.
What's the other one I saw that was really good?
Sick. I do that.
The Darth Vader one, where is it the Rogue One, where Darth Vader comes out of the shadows and at the end of Rogue One, and they do it to Metallica's One.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick.
And it's so cool, especially when his lightsaber comes out of the darkness and it's synced up to that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
So which one am I listening to? The Dark Side of the Wall with Wizard of Oz.
It's on YouTube now apparently.
Okay.
So if you look it
Dark
up,
Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon linked up
Syncs
to the Wizard of Oz.
And it's,
what a great movie that is, by the way.
We just watched it 3 weeks ago.
I knew all about it, but I'd never actually sat down and watched the movie. Yep, I'd never sat down and watched it.
That's a kid. I love it, man.
I haven't seen it.
1939.
It's 1939.
Yeah.
It's almost 100 years old.
Crazy.
Far out.
That's generational. Like,
Yeah,
Forget all this bloody wicked crap. It's all the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those shoes are iconic.
The shoes are
the red
There's
shoes.
a story about the shoes that got stolen too. I might do a story on that.
There you go.
There was a story.
Should also do the story of the little munchkin that hung himself on set.
Yes, he did.
That's been a myth though, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I've seen those theories.
It's a myth because they reckon you could see it in the screen there.
Like just in there. Jeez, that's full
the
on,
witch
man.
got burnt.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, with the flame. She got
all the Munchkins trying to molest Dorothy. And,
yes.
She went a bit
she did.
after that.
Well, didn't they put on a diet of cigarettes and...
What?
Yeah, coffee. Cigarettes and coffee was her diet to keep her weight down, apparently.
Yeah.
That's
Poor
crazy.
bugger. No wonder she had bloody issues
They
going
used to, I
forward.
think they painted the Tin Man. He was
Yeah,
on lead.
yeah.
They painted him with lead. You know, like,
Ended up in hospital, yeah. He got replaced.
Man.
What a show.
Yeah, man.
So that's it.
Yeah,
Pink
awesome.
Floyd,
So
Dark
fine,
Side of the Moon, man. Just, I thought, you know what, we'll take it back.
No, it's one of my favourites, man. I love
Pink Floyd,
sitting
a
back.
What are some of the other albums you've had on?
I've had
Too many?
I've had a few.
Yeah, we have one every week.
Every
Okay.
week, yeah.
I'll go back and watch the episodes.
What music are you into? What's on your playlist right now?
Oh, I'm mixed. I don't really listen to anything.
Okay.
But I'm from the 80s and 90s. So I love 80s music, but I love 90s. Big, massive Pearl Jam fan. They're my favourite all-time band.
You love Morris? Morris invited me to the concert they had at Marvel.
Yeah, about a year ago,
It was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Amazing.
I'm not like a huge Pearl Jam fan.
Yeah.
Didn't really know much about them until Morris.
Love Pearl Jam. Wasn't really a big Nirvana fan, surprisingly, but I loved the Chili Peppers and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, all those types of bands. But then going back to the 80s, obviously AC/DC, Kiss, Motley Crue, Metallica, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
These days, I talk to young kids now, and you say, "What do you listen to?" They listen, it's all rap and pop, and like,
I'm mainly
He's
rap.
massive into rap.
I went to see Motley Crue when I was in Las Vegas, and I told someone about it, and they laughed at me. Like, Motley Crue? You're laughing at me because I went to see Motley Crue, one of the hardest bands of the 80s.
Yeah. And I don't think you should laugh at anyone for seeing anyone live.
No.
Nah, but
I've said this about music. It's personal. Music is music. I've heard, I've had discussion. I'm listening to something and someone goes, "Oh, that's shit." You can't tell me it's shit. It's my music. It's like it brings me back memories.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've got playlists that I play that take me back to when I was a kid. I like just listening to them, like
100%.
Late 70s, early 80s. I love that type. And the 80s music was great.
I'm still going to say that the 70s, 80s music is probably the greatest music ever. But again,
everything changed in the 90s, but the 70s.
I'm a bit biased, but I don't know. There was some great bands and.
But that's the thing, though, Rocco. I often ask the sort of kid, even my kids, I say, "Well, who are the big bands of these days?" And they like, what band can sell an 80,000 seat arena out?
Yeah, there's not so many bands, but you'd have individuals artists, you'll have like for example The Weeknd or things like that are huge. You know what I mean?
But the biggest crowds, apart from probably Taylor Swift, are still from bands from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Like,
I mean, to be still around after 50 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
like you get AC/DC. Even if Rolling Stones decide at 100 years old to do it, they'll sell out.
Yeah.
They'll sell out in a minute.
Yeah,
but it's the same as with movies. You don't see any big movies anymore. Well, they're either superhero movies, remakes, reboots, sequels, whatever. You don't see any original movies anymore.
I feel like that's the Netflix effect.
Yeah, well, I've got a feeling eventually theatres won't even exist. Everything will go straight to Netflix and the streaming apps.
That's what Netflix is. If they get Warner, if they acquire Warner and they start acquiring these other studios, it won't be cinema releases.
Yeah. And the thing is too, though, I think a lot of the studios are a little bit hesitant to actually give money out to make movies these days, unless it's going to be a blockbuster.
100%.
They won't back someone to make like a Star Wars back in the day, or Raiders of the Lost Ark, or a Jaws or whatever. They're all, unless it's a superhero movie or a reboot or remake, we're not interested.
Yeah.
And even the movie stars are all going to TV.
Yeah,
100%, and they're all coming to Netflix and that. 100%. Series are a big thing now.
What's the best series at the moment? I'm just watching Landman. I love Landman.
Landman now.
I don't know what that is.
That is unbelievable. Billy Bob Thornton. It is
he's
awesome.
A star.
Yep.
So I watched
Landman.
series 1. Right, but I haven't seen series 2 yet.
I think we're up to episode 6 at the moment.
All right, so I'm gonna
unbelievable series.
Well, I watched Landman and I watched series 1 and I fell in love with it.
Yeah,
Billy
Bob Thornton and his Mrs. Ali Larder.
I'm telling you, it's a great series. It's about the oil.
Yeah, the oil industry. Yeah,
the oil industry, and he kind of like. He's kind of like the guy on the ground who runs everything, you know.
So Landman's sort of the guy that oversees everything at ground level. Yeah. So he works for the
Mexican cartel involved, because what they're doing is they need the land to get through, you know. But they're in the middle. Oh man,
the way they borrow planes and trucks. And then they don't report them stolen. They just wait for the cartel to return them. The cartel just take them and then give them back.
So they still planes and that. They still their planes, so they can deliver their drugs. drugs, but they don't report it because they'll just bring them back.
They know they're going to get
It's
it back.
not worth it because
just drop them back,
the oil's making that much money. We don't want to interrupt the whole thing, you know.
Interesting.
What
Another good one, I think, Mobland. Did you see the season?
I mean? I've never seen Bombland. Is that good?
Yeah, that was really good. I
Yeah.
think there's a season 2 coming on that. What was the other one I saw? Oh, and Tulsa King. You got to see Tulsa King. Great
I
show.
never got into it. I don't know. Like, should
Did
I?
you? Yeah, it was 3 seasons long now.
Should
so
I?
yeah, I reckon. If you love Sylvester Stallone, yeah, he's awesome. His first mafia role that he's ever played.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it's got who else has it got in it? It's got a pretty good cast. Who's the guy out of Terminator? The Terminator 2, the Terminator himself. Robert Patrick.
Oh.
He's in it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, no, it's really
so
good.
Much to watch, so much.
Yeah, but yeah, Landman is my favourite.
Yeah, I like Landman.
I've never seen Yellowstone. It's from the same.
Have you watched Yellowstone?
No, but I've been told I have to watch it. And now that I've seen Landman,
so when you watch Yellowstone, right, you've got to watch it from the start. So you've got to watch it from 1886. That's the first one.
Oh, okay. Because there's a few spin-offs, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's 1886. That's the best.
So watch that first.
You got to watch that because it's all from the start. It's from when they migrated.
But it come out after Yellowstone, though, didn't it?
No.
I thought Yellowstone was first, and then okay.
No, 1886, then 1924, and then Yellowstone come out.
Okay.
But it's all the one franchise.
Okay.
And it's from the director. But watch the first one. I think it's 1886. It's called.
Yep.
Right, and it's with
Kevin Costner, isn't it? No, he's in Yellowstone, isn't he?
No, Kevin Costner's in Yellowstone, and Harrison Ford's in 1924.
Harrison Ford, jeez.
He plays a good role, and then but the 1886, I'm telling you, when they migrated and they went and they went over to America, and then they had to go through Indian territory and they had to mark their land because they were giving away free land, but you had to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So what they would do is all these Europeans and that, they would hire these people and then they would transfer with all their wagons, like hundreds of people. But they're going through Indian territory who didn't want them there. And by the time they got to the end, like they started with like 200 people, they end up with like 5 people by the end of it because you'd all not only get killed, you die on the way.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like an easy, let's go camping. Like the whole families are bringing everything, trying to get over these, and then even just crossing rivers. Like you think, they were taking people out these rivers. You know how hard it is to cross a river with a wagon. Watch 1886.
All right,
it's my favourite.
All right, definitely will.
My favourite out of all.
Well, I think it's the same creators as Landman, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Well, if it's anything like Landman, I mean,
you got to watch it. So.
Well, what do you got for us?
Well, I should have just gone.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I was going
to say
we're here till 1 o'clock in the morning. Away we're going.
No, that's all right. What we do is we normally do.
You want to see Rocco in AI? Have a look at this. Yeah. Have a look at him.
Looks like Steel Side model.
Well, since we're doing Mafia, I thought I'll go back.
Here we go.
And I thought we'll go into. You've got to go once a year. You have to watch 1, 2, and 3, don't you?
Absolutely.
3 gets a bit of a bad rap though.
I like it.
Of
course, it's not as good as
Yeah.
1 and 2, but I wanted to have this bit of a discussion, right? Which is the best one? Now, no one's going to say 3. I like 3, but
I still think 1's the best.
1's the best.
Yeah, I know a lot of people say 2, but I like 1.
I think 2 is filmed nicer.
Yeah.
2 is probably nicer on the eyes.
Yeah.
But I think 1 is just gritty.
Well, TOG, isn't it?
Yeah. 1's just. Yeah.
I like 2 because of De Niro's in there, and we go back to Sicily. You get to see that. You get to see that part of it. You know what I mean? So, but you're right. Yeah, no, you can't pick them. It's just great. All 3.
It's pretty rare that the second movie could be better than the which is the Academy Award winner.
It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Terminator 2.
Well, you say Terminator 2.
I love Terminator 2. Man.
Yeah, that's just better than
what about the Rockies? I reckon.
I think
Rocky 3 for
Rocky
me.
3 is the best.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, Rocky 3 is the best. For me, it's 3, 2, 1, 4. And 5, don't even worry about 5.
5 was a bit of a write-off.
6 is okay, but yeah, I think Rocky 3 is the best
5 and 6, I think they just try to put... And I don't like... The Creed ones, I don't really like.
Don't like them.
No? Oh, the Creed movies?
Yeah.
The storylines are good, but the Michael B. Jordan just doesn't pull it off.
What's your favourite boxing movie?
Oh, yeah.
Well, apart from the Rockies.
So Rockies.
So I think that's everyone's best one. But I mean, there's some really. I actually did a video once about the 10 best and the 10 worst boxing movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But I sort of judge them a bit differently because I'm sort of looking at how realistic the fight scenes are as well. And a lot of people liked what's the Mark Wahlberg one, The Fighter. A lot of people like.
Yeah.
See, I hated it. Because he just looked so ridiculous trying to be a fighter. The story was good. Yeah, the storyline was good.
About 3 or 4 months ago. It's actually a really good
So my wife keeps saying, will you just let people enjoy it? You have to. Don't worry about
the punching is all wrong.
I'm like, look, and she's like, will you just let me watch it and enjoy the storyline? Do you really have to be picking him up on his footwork and his?
That's funny, yeah.
So I can't help it, but I just think Rocky 3. Out of all of them is the best because that second fight with Clubber Lang I think is the best fight sequence ever filmed.
Wow.
I just think that was...
How good was...
Rocky 2?
3. And 2 was probably the next best.
Yeah, Clubber Lang. Yeah.
Well, Clubber Lang was in 3, I thought the Apollo Creed fighter number 2 was unbelievable. And I think everyone likes Rocky 4, but I don't know, I didn't really like Rocky 4 that much. Good sort of, if you're looking for a popcorn movie, it's okay. I just thought he was sort of getting into superhero territory.
Yeah, it kind of went off a little bit. I still love him, but it kind of went off a bit. Yeah, it was well
done. The remake or whatever it was, the director's cut, I think sucked. I think all they did with that was cut out good scenes and put shit scenes in just for something different. But I like the storyline of Rocky 4, but it was a bit too superhero-y for me, and I just thought the fight scenes were not great. I didn't really like it. But Rocky 3 with Clubber Lang, that second fight, no matter if you put on, you got to turn it up flat out, you know, and you just the music and
it's amazing
sounds of the punches and just the whole fight itself. I just think it's the best choreographed fight
ever.
Yep.
That's been
ever. Yep.
Done a good job, didn't he?
Amazing. And Rocky 2, I think Rocky 2 is a very underrated movie in the franchise. Well, I don't think it gets much of a mention. It's normally either 1 or 4, basically. But I think really like Rocky 2 for the whole story, and then I think the training montage in 2 is great as well, and then the fight. I think the way it ends, as unrealistic as it is, it would never happen in a real fight.
Of course.
But just the whole drama and that, I mean, it was just amazing.
How far apart were they released?
Well, Rocky, the first Rocky was 75. And I think 2 was 78.
Okay, so...
And 3 was 82, and I think 4 was 80...
a few years.
85, 86, something like that,
But then he started doing like Rambo in between, then he started adding like other stuff.
I actually went up the Rocky steps last year.
Oh, yeah?
I was in Philadelphia. I've done it, if you're watching it on my channel, it's on my YouTube channel. I did a whole video of it.
Channel again?
Boxing Deep Dive.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, but I went to... I was in... Last year, it was a great little holiday I went for over there, but I went to Philadelphia. So I went to the Rocky Steps, and I actually did a Rocky tour. So there's a guy over there, it's called the Yo Philly Rocky Tour. Oh. And he takes you around, he's a Rocky impersonator. And mate, he's sitting there talking to Sylvester Stallone, he was awesome. And I just went by myself with him, and he took me to, where did we go to first? We went to Rocky's apartment, in that street there. We couldn't get out of the car though, because with the area that you're in, druggos and all that everywhere. So we couldn't get out, but we parked out the front of it, and we went to his gym, Mickey's gym. Went to the graveyard, went to where he ran in Rocky 3 along the river there, all sorts, but then all sorts of places, but ended up...
What if he does a tour? That's sick.
Mate, it was awesome. Check it out on YouTube. And then I ended up, finishing at the steps. So I ran up the steps, actually took a video of running up the steps, the statue, and actually went to in Rocky, is it 6? Is it his restaurant? He's got the restaurant.
Yeah.
Actually went to that. Went to that restaurant and had dinner.
Sick.
And it was unbelievable. It was really good.
So good.
Is he? Am I wrong? Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he is. The boxing, I think it's more contribution to boxing.
Yeah. All right,
well, how many people has he inspired to take up boxing?
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I don't think you'd get much of an argument from anyone.
Nah.
Because that was probably my first introduction to boxing as a child.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, watching Rocky when I was 4.
Oh, it was the best.
You know, and to me, fuck, this is real.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know the story of the guy who says it's about him?
Chuck Wepner.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, it was just based on him.
Yeah, just based on him.
All that happened
because he had the fight with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, so all that since then it's all been Hollywoodized, I suppose, and the story and how we knocked Muhammad Ali. He didn't knock him down; he stood on his foot.
Yep,
exactly. And Ali tripped over.
Yeah.
So all that happened. Sylvester Stallone went to the fight. Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. And Chuck Wepner got the shit beaten out of him for 15 rounds, but he went the distance. And that was the inspiration that he got. So really, I suppose he was inspired by him, but the whole story was completely written by... And you see that actually the new movie they're bringing out about it. It's called I Am Rocky. So it's a movie about the movie. So it's coming out soon. So it's called I Am Rocky, and it's about him trying to get the movie made. You know, it was
well, I know the whole story. Like,
had to sell his dog and all that sort of stuff. So it's about that. So it's about him trying to get the movie signed.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, and I think Henry Winkler would played a big part in it too. If it wasn't for him, it might have been. Yeah, because he was in the Lords of Flatbush with him. That was a movie they made together, and he helped.
Well, you know Henry Winkler, and because they were in a couple of movies together, you know what I mean. And Henry Winkler, like, they knew each other. And have you heard the story about Henry Winkler when he said when Rocky came down to wherever they were staying and he moved over there, like, he had everything in his car, Sylvester Stallone, and his car broke down. And who did he ring? The Fonz. And the Fonz had to come and pick him up, man.
And he helped sort of get him to meet And I think what actually happened is that he sat down with them about something else, these producers or whatever they were, and they said, not interested. And he walked out, and one of them said, have you got anything else for us?
Yes.
And he remembered the fight. And he said, well, I've got something based on this fight. And he said, well, sit down and tell us about it. And then they wanted him to obviously sell the
And he went home and read it.
Yeah.
Like,
he only had the idea.
And he read it. He wrote it, and then he went back there, and then they offered him the money, and he...
To step aside, and he goes, for a guy that was broke, and they offered him, I think, $300,000 back in 1974 or 3, whatever it was. That's probably worth about $3 million
these days. You have to sell his dog, bro.
Yeah.
And then someone offers you $300,000 in the 70s. And then you go, nah.
That's backing yourself, man.
That's backing yourself. And what they did to him, they gave him some like some rules where he had to I think he had to do it in 30 days.
You had to do it in a month,
He had to do it in 30 days.
For
and in 19 days, up to 19 days, they could sack him at any time. They were giving him fuck all money, like, compared to the $300,000.
Apparently they were just driving around Philadelphia in a van, and they just jump out and start filming and jump back.
It was just like that.
Like that, the scene where he runs up the stairs and gets the cramp and can't make it the first time after drinking the eggs. And then the last one where he runs up War Triumphant was filmed one after the other. Like each, that first one was filmed. They waited till the sun come up, and then they filmed the next one. Just little things like that.
When he was running down the street with all the people, that was.
I went to that market too.
They didn't know. They just seen this bloke running, and there's like a camera, and they're all like giving him apples.
When the guy tossed him the apple, that was totally improvised. That wasn't in the script.
Really? That's fantastic.
But I went to that market over there. It's a real functioning market.
If I ever get back there, I'm going to go and do that.
You should do it, mate. And if you go, check this tour out. It was awesome. This guy knew everything, and he was actually friends with Sylvester Stallone.
Wow.
Yeah, he won a impersonator contest or something. And when I think they were filming Rocky 6 at that restaurant, and he was actually standing there watching him film it, and he'd go to lunch and that with Sylvester Stallone in between takes. Just crazy.
Amazing.
Well, do you know that again, going back to the guy, what was his name? The one who said that story about him. What was his name?
Chuck Wepner.
Yeah, right. Well, he sued him, you know.
He did, yeah.
He did sue him.
I think he would have got an under the table.
Yeah, they did. They worked it out, and
so because
he kept saying, "Man, this is my story. This is my story." And the other thing was, he said,
"There's a movie about him too."
Yes, I've watched it. I've watched it, and this is why I know about it. He said that Sylvester promised him a part in the movie.
Yeah.
And he never gave it to him, you know, and that's where he got pissed off, you know what I mean? Because if you look at it, the story's very similar. He fought Muhammad Ali and that, you know. But again, to say that then the story's about you, I mean, Sylvester got an idea, he writes a story, and all of a sudden...
I'd say there's a couple of mil or something written under the table.
What about
go away.
Raging Bull?
Yeah, great movie. Yeah. Was back in the 70s or 80s, is it? A long time.
It would have been early 70s.
Yeah, great movie. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the best movies, weren't we? I got off on a tangent there. I still reckon, the Rocky movie, but I reckon Cinderella Man's a good movie.
Oh, what a movie.
Yeah, that was good. I really like, if you're after a comedy, I love The Great White Hype. Have you seen that?
No.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson. It's a comedy, but it's a spoof of the whole boxing industry.
Okay.
It's called The Great White Hype.
Yep.
What about
I know it was a female, but what about $1 Million Baby?
I didn't like it because of the ending.
Makes you so sad. Like,
I mean, it was a great story.
When I first seen it, like because you watch.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not going to tell you, but normally you go like.
It wasn't triumphant.
No, it was the opposite. Like how? Yeah. Like, but what a great movie!
Yeah, it was
a great movie.
Yeah.
But as far as boxing, but I suppose
some great movies made, but I mean some of the worst.
What are the worst?
I would say my worst of all time. There's probably a couple of ones, but there was a movie called Honey Boy back in the day. Do you remember Eric Estrada from Chips?
Yes.
He's the lead role. He plays Honey Boy. It's a little bit like a Rocky type of story. That was pretty atrocious. But what are some of the other ones? Southpaw. Deplorable movie. I mean, the story they actually had was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Jake Gyllenhaal just looks ridiculous trying to be a fighter. That's probably why I rated it down.
Yeah.
But and as I said with a fighter, great story, but I just can't get over.
Yeah. Of course, man. And I mean, you have boxing all your life. Of course, the first thing you're going to notice is the technique in it, don't you? You're going to look at it and go, man, the technique's wrong here, man. Of course. Right. And you would be probably annoyed.
I don't mean to do it, but we're sitting there like, oh, geez. She's like, what now? Oh, look at his bloody footwork, will you? And then 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, geez, and what now? Look at the way he's throwing the right hand. Jeez, it's ridiculous, but it's a good movie anyway. If you take out all that, it's a good movie.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Good chat.
It is a good chat.
It's a
good chat. Yeah.
Tell you what, it's 11:40.
Is it?
Yeah.
11:36. Yeah.
That's quick.
Have we got anyone watching still? Or?
Yeah. There's still a few people in there.
People watching.
It's good. Yeah.
No, it's been good. It's been good. Interesting with the boxing.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That's about it. That's about talking myself.
We call it. You've been one of my favourite guests.
Thanks,
I'm not
mate,
even like just saying that because
it's been great to be here.
We have you at least once a year, always on, man. And always, I have to chuck in the boxing stuff. I still find it amazing, and I thought this week will be perfect, especially with the week that's coming up in boxing. Yeah,
well, make sure you watch Tim Zoo tomorrow night. Hopefully, you can get back on the winner's track.
I love Tim Zoo.
Yeah, hopefully, you can get back. Tough one for him, and then the Jake Paul and Joshua fight. We said about that, the better, I suppose.
Well, it's going to be good. Like, my son's massive into boxing too. He's more into the fighting, not into this fake fighting that people do in this WWE, right?
Come on, bro. WWE's all right, man. Hey, shout out John Cena. Retired.
Crying.
Part of my childhood fucking died, bro.
He lost, didn't he?
He did. He tapped out.
He lost, and he
tapped
out. Jeez.
That's what they do, man. That's what they do. When
pass the torch.
You pass the torch. You know, you give back to the industry.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
No, it's good when you
go out on your back. So.
No, it's good. It's good. Fake thing.
It's not fake. Don't you do it. Let me body slam now. Tell me if it hurts.
Nah, it was good. I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that. But me and my son are into like the boxing a lot. So he's coming over Saturday. So we're going to spend the whole day just sitting there.
Beautiful.
I'm going to put on the gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Just wreck him.
You put the gloves on Christmas Day and go for it. Oh, yeah. Last time I was here, wasn't it?
Last time you were here, you punched me.
It wasn't that hard. Come on.
Well, I'm sure.
Should we do it again?
No,
should we do it again?
I'll do it to you.
Nah, fuck no.
I know you pulled back a bit.
No. Well, that type of punch is not about hitting hard. It's hitting precise.
Yeah.
That's
all.
all.
You got me going. Yeah. I could just feel it, man. It was good, man.
Good on you.
I think I said you on the night though. Like it's one thing when you're standing there waiting for it, but when you get hit and you're not expecting it, that's the worst because you literally can't move.
Of course.
But I like the sound effects and all that you put to it. It was pretty funny.
We had a good one there. No, it was good.
That was good.
I always wanted to, and then as soon as I said, I'm going to do it, man, I'm going to get an Olympian to punch me, man. So, it's been good.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
100%.
Sorry to keep you so late.
Nah, mate.
When you get me talking about something I'm passionate about, you won't shut me up. So.
That's good, man. We love that. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll definitely have you back, man. Yeah. Like, there's heaps to talk about,
absolutely.
man. And plus you're a passionate Carl.
Yeah, we'll have you back next year.
Yeah, sure. Love the baggers, so I'll be back.
Yeah, 100%. And you'll come on...
Still waiting for you to come up the Bendigo, though,
We've got to do the Bendigo one,
I know you got a bit on, mate. You got all these YouTube shows to make, so.
But we're going to do it. We will do it. We're definitely going to come down.
I'm sure you got a lot of Bendigo viewers out there, being a Carlton show.
100%. So no, we've definitely got to go down there and do something down there. We'll work something out 100% for next year. Yeah. Now that Paul's out of the picture, me and Mars will work something out. Yeah, so that'll be good. Yeah. So make sure you get onto Top Dog Liquor.
Yep.
Yeah,
get down that way.
Down there, yeah, 100%. Get onto
and the bottle, of course, down this way.
Yeah. So it's either there or there, yeah. So also the boxing.
Yep, boxing deep dive.
Get into that.
I can't wait to watch your walks.
Yeah, it's
I can't wait.
They're funny, most, man. They're funny.
Yeah.
I love
but you know what? I'm actually looking forward to getting back into boxing.
Yeah.
Like as well, the info that I'm going to get as well.
Well, as I said, it's just me just talking about what's going on in the boxing world at the time, and
it's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah.
Instead of me doing the work, you do the work, and I get to hear it, in one spot.
Like
so it's awesome.
So as I say, get into that. Thanks for coming.
No worries.
What else we got?
Well, this is it for Unfiltered for this season.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yep.
We'll take a break.
Yeah,
and then it's footy season, and
it's the footy season.
I'm getting married next year, so I need time, mate. I'm running out of time. I'm running out.
No.
Best thing you'll ever do, mate.
Oh yeah, look, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So that's great. Well, he's already been married once. So
okay.
yeah. Already done it.
Rewind.
This is the official.
This is the good one. This is the good one. That's what we said last time.
Yeah. The other one was practice. The other one was just practice.
Nah, it's good. I'm actually looking forward to it, man. Like that'll be good. Yeah. So you got a big year next year.
A massive year. Yeah. So looking forward to it, man, and looking forward to just chilling out and having some time away from content and
100%.
And enjoying the summer. The weather's getting better.
Yeah.
Finally. Tomorrow's going to be hot.
What's the weather like in Bendigo?
About the same as Melbourne.
About the same?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's been miserable here for a while, so it's nice to
next few days
get a bit of sunshine.
So thanks for everyone for joining in as always.
Thank you for supporting us.
All the support. Yeah. It's been great. There is one more show tomorrow night. We got one more Forever Rivals. We're going to finish off the year. We're going to do a bit
Rivals?
we're bringing it back tomorrow night. So we'll get all the boys back. We'll talk a bit of footy. Everyone can tell us about their shit sides. We're in Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond, all shit, right? So they can tell us a bit about. They're all coming on. They're all preparing their little notes there about the shit players they picked up. Yeah. So we'll talk that tomorrow night, 7:30. That'll be the last one for the year. Make sure you catch Bada Bing always. And thanks for everyone. It's been a good year.
It's been a great year. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Been great to be
joining us.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for everyone for watching.
That's
it.
We're done.
All right, let's do it.
Go Blues.
All right, thanks everyone, and we'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you guys next year.
Surely. Done.
Everybody have a safe Christmas.
Done. Have I got the right one?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, it has to be this one here. All right, thanks, guys.
In the game. Laugh at yourself. What did Mel Brooks say? Relax. None of us are getting out of here alive. Don't take it that seriously. You know what I mean?
I love
you got to stay in the game.
This time,
Get up and stay in the game. And by the way, be comfortable with your irrelevance. You're irrelevant.
I love
Why don't you embrace that? Even if you're a best-selling author, or even if you're a congressman or a senator. I mean, come on. Nobody remembers who even the pharaohs were. We remember King Tut because we opened his tomb 100 years ago, right? I submit to you there'll be 500 years from 1850 to 2450, and somebody 10,000 years from now, despite all of our electronics, all of our data storage, who are they going to really talk about? They're going to talk about Neil Armstrong. Right, he landed on the moon, put his feet on the moon. They're not going to give a shit about Barack Obama or Donald Trump or me. Nobody gives a shit. So don't worry about that.